Đầu đến với round lụi giữa Long Xin và 100 Thief. Ở đây bắt đầu kết được chọn bởi team Long Xin. Đây Ivy không qua được hòng súng của bang 3v2 khi ba thành viên của 100T đã chiếm lại được khu vực ở side B rồi, và sẽ là tình huống retake 2v3 ở đây. Nhưng tuy nhiên đang có hai thành viên yếu máu đến từ vị trí của bên quan trọng 100T. Nào Francis Box ở đây có làm gì được không đây?
Francis sees absolutely nothing. Normally, you're going to expect to have seen the spike by now, but like you said, that plant position for 100
Francis vẫn đang check. Bora timing này không nhìn thấy nhau rồi. Francis vẫn đang nhìn ở đây. Có bắt được một mạng Bora, hai người còn lại thì đang là yếu máu. Flash nhả ra, hai người thấy hai người CD rồi. Vẫn còn ảo mộng đến từ bang, nhả ảo mộng ra. Ôi ở đây thì Aftershock ép góc và chỉ có một mình Timotino thôi. Một mình Timotino và đó là thắt với con bài nail của mình.
It's a narrow margin, but a solid opening from 100 Thieves.
I'll be honest, I thought that aftershock was going to be enough to win the round, clearing both players from that awkward corner, forcing them into a wider position, and both of them being tagged low. But it is again some individual brilliance from Timotino, a man who is quickly.
Piston cũng về với 100T với tình huống xuất sắc của Timotino ở trong tình huống 2v1 cuối cùng của mình.
Mai tắt nhá, em Hưng nhá. Và vân.
Nên với một thi đấu gọi là không biến số ở đây, khi mà họ quyết định bang là để win, khi mà có hai cục red chain, khi mà có 4 thành viên mua đến từ vị trí 100T. Timotino vào sai đây rồi, thì hai thành viên ở City bắn cường tráng lên dậy shot ra spam bữa và không giết được ai cả. Ở đây Asuna chuẩn bị trả cầu flash vào kèm thêm cái ảo mộng. Cái gì đây, combo cái gì đây? Bom bắt đầu được đặt, khả năng sẽ là 2-0 cho 100T mà thôi. Nhưng mà không, X-Drop bắt được bang. Ui, mặt trắng cá đến từ Motino. Asuna bắt được mạng đi của Francis. Asuna double kill với mạng vào ID và cuối cùng chỉ có một mình ID ở đây thì là không qua được học số của Gora. 2-0 cho 100T.
Maybe a little bit more costly than they would have liked, and a weapon or two that needs to be retrieved, but ultimately that's about the minimum that the 100 Thieves would have been hoping for. And of course, Arsenal getting a couple of those kills is always going to help out get towards that Phoenix. So the funny thing is, looking at these two sunset compositions, you'd kind of look at what 100 Thieves are playing and think, I'd quite like to see Nong.
Lát thi đấu này thì bên Long Xin đang pick một đội hình gọi là nâng khăn sửa túi lên cho Nambi khi mà là hai ini để có thể gọi là bồi chán để cho Nambi một mình vào. Ở đây thì Ivy đang bị lướt và đã bị bắt lẻ lại, bắt đầu vào sai đến từ 100T. Không phải đến Long bắt lại Cryo chứ, nhầm bên. Ở đây thì bên Long Xin đã bắt được đi mạng của Timotino, khi anh ấy vào là quá đơn độc, trả ra thì đến từ Bridge, trả thêm một cái Aftershock nữa. Ở đây là ba thành viên đang bị choáng trong sai đến từ các thành viên của 100T. Đang bị bắt được ban, Francis bắt được Vora và còn một mình Cryo ở đây thôi. Sau mod chắc là không thể clutch một round gần như là flawless win, khi mà các thành viên của Long Xin gần như là không mất một giọt máu nào. Bắt bài quá thành công, thì đó là trả ra ulti đến từ Bridge. Việc đẩy A xong về side B là quá nhanh, chắc chắn sẽ là cho Long Xin mà thôi.
Deep pushes off the back of the utility
xem học tập
of
nhá.
Francis, but
Ai
he's
bắn
also
như này cho anh.
And this was sort of the fun thing yesterday. I think in that third map in particular, we were watching Nongshim play, and a lot of it just didn't make sense. Like with how quickly they could swarm onto an opponent, how good they were with just individual.
Bị tác chúng đến từ vị trí của Timotino. Ivy thì vẫn là rất anh ý rồi, Ivy cũng bắt được một mạng. Gần như là mỗi người một mạng ở đây. Flawless win.
Điều này cũng dễ hiểu rồi, khi mà bên 100T thì họ toàn là giáp yếu, trong khi đó Asuna còn chỉ cầm mỗi khẩu hốt.
Bắt đầu đến một round full băng sát ở đây, Dami bắt đầu đẩy ra ở mid, bắn yếu được Asuna rồi. Asuna phải trả cho mình cái Phượng Hoàng tái tranh để có thể gọi là hồi phục lại đi lượng máu của mình. Bắt đầu trả Phượng Hoàng tái tranh vào sai nhưng mà không thể làm được gì, mất đi cái Phượng Hoàng của mình, mất đi đúng hơn là cái tái đấu. Tình huống vẫn là 5v5 ở đây. Các thành viên của 100t bắt đầu trở về side B nhưng mà các thành viên của Long Xin có vẻ người ra mùi gì đấy và cũng đã điều cho vị trí của X-Rod về rồi. Ở đây Cryo mid có bắt được Ivy không đây, và nó bắt tốt đến từ vị trí của X thôi nhưng mà X thấy chết được. Nhưng mà bị mù rồi, chẳng Fancy đến từ vị trí của X-Rod. Ở đây Dami một mạng Vora chưa đặt được bom đến từ vị trí của 100t.
Sờ like nhưng mà vẫn cốc vào mặt của Timothy.
Cryo ở đây 1v3, Cryo một mạng trước Francis. Nào và vẫn dĩ nhiên là không qua được khi Ivy đã có mặt ở market để cover cho Dami, 2 đều dành cho Noxy.
Ui, quả slide shot mà Dami vẫn bắt được vào mù Timothy thực sự gọi đấy là pha nhiều deep gamer.
And he just domes him. He gets him right away. Like, oh no, bro, you're not gonna catch me with those.
Khả năng Dami mặc dù pha đấy Timo đã lướt rồi nhưng mà anh ấy mới thể hiện anh ấy là vua neo vì biết rằng một con neo sẽ có thể làm được gì. Trả giá cho round thi đấu vừa rồi thì sẽ là yếu xuống lên các thành viên 100t thôi.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing we talk about when we look at a team like Paperex. It's like from top to
ở đây trà vào side A rồi bắn một giao thi đấu Eco quyết định là stack A4A ở đây đẩy vào bắt đi được vị trí Ivy, đặt trap rồi Timo một mạng đầu tiên mắt sáng lên vị trí của bang bị ngay sau đấy Vora cũng bị tát trúng rồi nhưng Vora bắt được mạng của X-Rod của Ivy. Hasuna không qua sọ xuống Ivy và Vora cũng là tương tự. Ở đây còn lại một mình Cryo ở đây làm được mấy đây. Ui bắn series vào quá chớ và sẽ là 3-2 dành cho Long Xin mà thôi. Nhảy đến từ Ivy rồi và Ivy sẽ kết thúc, còn Francis sẽ kết thúc đi với mạng này triple kill cho Francis ở vườn muốn ra thi đấu Eco.
In a semi-final, looking for a spot in the grand final of EWC, and they are giggling.
Yeah, momentum is a big factor for this squad. We saw that yesterday, heating up as the series went on, and they're coming off the back of that win.
Một map thi đấu mà tôi đánh giá là Sunset là một map thi đấu Long Xin bắn khá là kinh. Mặc dù cũng không phải là đội hình ưa thích nhưng mà đội hình bắn xoay quanh Dami này vẫn rất là mạnh.
Leading the charge, and that is the thing.
Là Dami đẩy mid của bang Asuna, bang thì bắt lại đổi ngại bang Dami rồi bang bắt đầu xấy qua smoke, bắt được Ivy Vora ở đây thì bắt được với X-Rod. Tôi vừa khen Long Xin thì họ lại để thua ngay một round đầu tiếp theo. Ở đây giảm ra Cryo bắt được Ivy rồi và chỉ có một mình Francis thôi nhưng mà với 5 máu này chắc chắn không làm gì rồi, giảm ra và chắc chắn là bắt được cái mạng này của Francis mà thôi.
We need to be able to soak up that pressure, otherwise they will continue to do it in more and more aggressive ways. This time, even with the stun, Bang was able to soak up a lot of that pressure and a solid round from him individually. A 3K to level up the scoreline.
Trong 100t của Long Xin. Sentinel, tại có 2 Sentinel ở đây vậy. Ui,
tôi bảo mà không phải đơn giản có Sentinel
nào của bên đấy nhở? Fan ai của bên 100t mà mặc áo sen vậy?
Bang ấy.
And then X-Ross, I think from there onwards, they won 8 rounds in a row. Like, all it takes is for them to...
Thi đấu có bài gọi là đẩy mid đến từ vị trí của bên Long Xin nhưng mà có vẻ như là bị bắt bài khi mà bang ở team bạn đã sấy xuyên qua smoke 2 mạng liên tục. Asuna lại đẩy Dami ở đây. Dami quyết định đổi hướng thay vì đổi ra đi trước thì quyết định đổi sang bên trái và vẫn là không đổi là bạn nào đến từ vị trí của Dami. 5v4 bắn công mà như thủ và thủ như công, khi đó là một pha đẩy. Abi ở đây bị tát trúng rồi.
We saw it in the replay. Bang was finding 2 shots through the smoke.
X-Rod bắt được Asuna ở đây nhưng mà X-Rod bị quay rồi. Bang thì bắt đi một bạn Francis, Vora bắt được Abi lại thành 2v3. X-Rod triple kill, Fakame thực sự rất kinh, giặt ra làm thẳng vào mồm. Ở đây Timo quyết định cầm bom và chạy về A khi mà ở vị trí Cryo thì đã bò về tận City rồi. Khả năng Ivy sẽ ra mid và dùng phi lục ký ức, ném cái nón đạn của mình ra để biết hết thông tin vị trí của các thành viên 100T mà thôi. Và quả đúng là như vậy, biết được vị trí của hai thành viên 100T rồi và sẽ là úp vào bom này mà thôi. Phá trap đến từ vị trí của X-Rod, dùng ulti bóng đêm bao trùm đến từ vị trí của X-Rod, nhưng mà hình như là không thấy ai. Ném mắt ra cũng bị phá ngay lập tức, không có thông tin gì đến từ vị trí của Long Xin. Sẽ làm gì pha này đây khi mà pha vượt đầu. Ô tham minh ui, tham minh của Timotino là không thấy rồi. Ôi nghe thấy rồi.
Ôi anh cho X-Rod,
nghe để dành cho X-Rod.
anh X-Rod
Quá kinh khủng dưới X-Rod, một mình X-Rod bao vây 5 thành viên của bên phía 100T khi mà đó gần như là một pha 1v1 từng người một. Đầu tiên là mid làm 3, mid 1 mạng Asuna, mạng tiếp theo bang, tiếp theo ra bắt được Vora, vào đây giặt vào đây bắt được mạng Cryo và cuối cùng là Timotino trả giá cho hành động tham minh đen đủ của mình mà thôi.
Tay rất là to đến từ vị trí của
Trước trận này tôi đã nói rồi, X-Rod là một thành viên tay rất to. Sự cam là bắn rất kinh lại, bắt đầu một bài đẩy mid lên từ vị trí của Namida đây, bắt được ai không ảo mộng trả ra, bắt được một mạng của bị double kill rồi, bắt đầu tính cày thuê trả ra. X-Rod bắt được Cryo, ui nhưng mà ở đây Nami không làm gì, ai bị bắt được team tình có trở thành 3v1 và thôi. Còn một mình bang ở đây với khẩu tinh cơ thì không thể làm được thêm bạn nào nữa rồi, chắc chắn sẽ là 5-3 dành cho Long Xin mà thôi. Ui, bắn này tàn nhẫn quá, bắn công mà như thủ, bắn thủ nó như công, đẩy ra liên tục đến từ vị trí Dami và các đồng bọn. Tele vào đến từ bang, hình như là Francis nghe thấy rồi, tại vì tiếng tele rồi rất là to, Francis nghe rồi, chắc chắn luôn và đại chỉ đang kịp. Nhưng mà bang bắt đi đầu của Francis ở đây, liệu có tình huống nào reverb A ở đây không đây? Long Ivy cũng chỉ có 10 máu mà thôi, bom vẫn trên tay của bang. Nếu mà đặt được bom thì chưa chắc rằng Long Xin đã cầm chắc chiến thắng đây đâu, nhưng mà nếu mà đặt bom trong A thì sẽ là tử hình đấy bang ơi. Chả nốt ra rồi, nghe được tiếng rồi. Các thành viên của bên Long Xin bắt đầu bò dần lại về vào side. Ở đây bang sẽ đấu đầu với Abi. Và bang không qua được họng súng của Abi và 5-3 rồi cho Long Xin.
Tôi xin lỗi bang nhá.
Well, this is the third round in a row that Dambi has pushed the same angle.
And keep in mind, it started with him being shot through the smoke. Bang got a double to shut down the round before. The last round he ran out, immediately died as well.
Tôi bảo rồi mà, tôi chắc chắn rằng Long Xin sẽ chiến thắng last hope của Pacific, không như với bọn EMEA 4 suất vào trong vòng tứ kết này. Tuy nhiên chỉ có một đội ở lại, loanh quanh vẫn 4 đội ở 4 khu vực khác nhau, trừ khu vực China.
Khu vực China. Vâng, rất là tân.
We'll never know now.
I'm not so sure.
This is a tough one as well when you're the coaching staff.
Không liên quan cho lắm, nhưng mà ở đây thì nếu có các mẹ bỉm xem live này thì Han Online nên vui sướng đi khi mà Han Online đã có chiến thắng để cân bằng 2 điều trước các thành viên của Lion rồi. Uma, UC.
They're sprinting down mid, trying to fight you early, setting up a stun, putting in utility to try and make those fights awkward, and then kind of slaughtering you in those moments. And although we have seen things already correct in some of the earlier rounds where it's like, okay, we've been able to stop that, we've been able to deny Dambi, and then get aced by Exros. You then kind of go as a coach and go, well, yeah, you guys know what's happening, you know what's going on. It's just they haven't been able to find a solution to it, or at least a consistent one.
Mai em Long bắn như này nhé à? Mai em Long bắn như này nhé, ý bạn bảo tôi là chơi con gì? X-Rod à? Tôi X-Rod à?
Mai em Long bắn như này nhé à? Có đấy.
Tôi không chắc bạn ơi.
Em Hưng có phải là Dambi không? Em Hưng có phải là Dambi không?
Em Hưng là Dambi dây nhá, tôi sẽ là X-Rod.
Mà hành pick line up này phục vụ bố à?
This is a different face than Auction. They're going to play much more passive in that early fight.
Có vẻ một tình huống đẩy mid,
allows those rotations to go through. I don't think 100D is quite ready
Thôi tốt nhất Hưng ạ, nếu có đang xem live này thì ta bảo mày tốt nhất mày nên chỉ nên cầm con phết. Ở đây Rob bắt được Asuna mid rồi, một pha lạnh lùng thẳng vào mồm của Sova team bạn. Trả mộng ra Abi bắt được ngày mạng của Vora, một pha thi đấu đẩy thẳng vào mid nhưng mà không thành công như các thành viên của 100T. Ở đây Timotino chuẩn bị Sarasot ra nhưng mà chắc chắn là cái kết thôi. Ui bắn cực là cực kinh nhưng mà vẫn không qua được học sự X-Rod File double kill, nhưng mà tình huống lại trở thành 2v2 rồi. Nhặt được bom, chưa biết ai sẽ thắng mà ở đây mà câu, nhưng mà nếu mà vào họ súng Ivy thì tôi không chắc là họ sẽ qua được. Ivy ui không qua được bang, cái gì vừa xảy ra vậy?
Cái gì đây? Thật sự là tham hao có hiệu quả và đó là round tricky dành cho 100T. Pha Sentinel đang rất vui.
CCI người ta bảo rồi, có trình không mà cầm neon đòi anh em bọn tao nâng khăn sửa túi cho. Ê, thực ra tao điều này tao nên nói mày, thực ra hồi xưa ấy, anh em bọn tao cũng chơi cái đội hình đấy, nhưng mà tao nói thật nhá, mày chơi đội hình đấy thằng Lilith là thằng khổ nhất, mày team trả đầu như cứt.
Em chung trận đấy chơi con đeo nhỏ.
Once things started to go their way, they got a bit too excited. It's given 100 Thieves a fourth round. A chance to still compete for this half.
Ôi, ra thi đấu vừa rồi tôi vẫn không hiểu sao Long Sinh có thể thua ra đấu thi đấu vừa rồi. Một ra thi đấu team bạn gần như là yếu súng và hai thành viên còn lại yếu máu. Ở đây Ami nhảy check và bị bắn đi mất đi một chút máu rồi. Asuna đang có cho mình là người cái tái đấu. Đây là một ultimate round đến từ vị trí của thành viên Long Sinh khi mà 4 ulti cực kỳ mạnh đang trên người của các thành viên Long Sinh.
Ults that will deny
bao tiêu rất là mạnh.
And that's where I feel like 100 Thieves have to be a little bit more careful in this round based on.
Ở đây các thành viên của 100T bắt đầu bỏ ra mid rồi. Asuna đang không có phong độ tốt lắm, mặc dù ở trận trước anh bắn khá là kinh trước các thành viên của Medibarak.
Thật sự đấy, tôi nghĩ anh Zeken nên về với Sentinel nếu anh ấy đi Master.
Bắt đầu chuẩn bị vào B đến từ các thành viên, trả ra là cái quần đảo bóng đêm, nhầm, ba chú bóng đêm. Ở đây thì Timotino cái gì vậy Dami ơi, nhưng mà ở đây thì Cryo và Vora lần lượt lên tiếng trước màn của X-Rod và Ivy. Bắn ulti ra rồi, nào cày thuê không súng của Vora đến từ Dami. Ui, giật điện là không thành công nhưng mà chỉ có 12 giây mà thôi. Nếu mà ngăn cản được đòn bom thì sẽ là chiến thắng dành cho các thành viên của thôi, chắc là chiến thắng của 100T khi mà họ đã thành công đòn bom. Chỉ có một mình Abi ở đây mà thôi. Thực sự là họ dùng 4 ulti và vẫn để thua round đấu đến từ các thành viên của vị trí Long Xin. Dami tôi cứ tưởng là Benel nhưng mà hóa ra vẫn thua Quốc Hưng của anh em Five Lịch thôi.
Vâng, anh bận quá. Đúng thật là như thế anh em nhá. Vẫn thua anh Quốc Hưng của anh Five Lịch thôi.
Thực sự thì nếu tôi là Dami pha đấy, tôi chắc chắn sẽ làm được 3 hay là sẽ làm được 4. Tin tôi đi. Mai Click lo tớt 3 sen cho bố. Rồi ta biết mày muốn chơi set rồi. Khổ quá tư. Nhưng mà thực sự là Long Xin làm cái quái gì ở round thi đấu này vậy, khi mà họ dùng 4 ulti nhưng không dùng ấy.
Chơi set cho giống Raga.
Yeah, I mean, Vora did a phenomenal job. The pressure he was put under in that corner. His teammates isolated.
Lại một ta đi đầu yếu xuống này từ các vị trí Long Xin rồi. Tôi không chắc là họ có thể chiến thắng ở round này. Thực sự là Long Xin đang bắn không cẩn thận. Đúng như một người nào đó nói, Long Xin tay rất to nhưng mà lối bắn họ thực sự là bắn rất là cá nhân, rất là cái tôi ở đây khi mà từng người ra pick 1 và không hề đợi chiêu tí nào. Thực sự thì đấy, như mọi người nhìn thấy đội hình của Long Xin thực sự là rất khỏe nhưng mà không hiểu bằng cách nào đó họ vẫn thua. Ở đây slide shot ra Dami nhưng mà mặt trắng xóa chẳng thấy cái gì rồi và phải chạy về rồi. Ở đây thì Timotimo slide shot lại bắt đầu đi mạng của Abi. Ở đây một mình phát xịt đây cả là không đủ với trên tay của mình đang chỉ là khẩu bandage. Ở đây thì Cryo bắt đầu bò được vào B và sẽ gọi các thành viên của 100T về. Chắc chắn sẽ là 6 năm dành cho 100T mà thôi. Quá khó dành cho năm xỉn ra thi đấu này. Họ thực sự nên xem lại, Đấy, bắt được đi bằng Cryo rồi. Ui, ở đây thì bắn chéo đến từ Ivy và Dami. Ui, bắn chớ đến từ Xrod. Rồi chắc chắn sẽ 6 năm dành cho 100 tỷ ở một round thi đấu. Tôi đã nói rồi là không bị số. Từ đã Dami lại bắt đi mà của Timotino. Ui, Francis bò. Ui, Francis ơi. Ui,
tình huống trở về 2v2. Nhưng mà vẫn là súng lục.
Thôi, nhưng số khó. Chắc chắn là 6 năm dành cho 100 T thôi. Nói rồi. Không khác nữa. Đừng mơ nữa.
Lò móc. Liệu Dami có nhận ra được không? Dami nhặt được súng.
You can save it for time at this stage though. That clock has run way too far down.
Không quét được.
Có luôn được. Có luôn đấy. Bịp thật rồi.
The issue seemingly gone as time will decide.
Một viên không qua được họ súng Asuna và đó tôi đã nói rồi 6 năm dành cho 100 T nhưng mà họ đã đi mất đi 5 súng. Nhưng mà cũng chẳng quan trọng nữa khi round thi đấu tiếp theo sẽ là thi đấu cuối cùng ở lượt first half này.
Ultimately, I don't think you're going to be too worried on the 100 Thieves side. You get through towards the end of the half. And economically, they should be absolutely fine to get back into the next one. Again, it shows
thực sự thì để bỏ lỡ một round thi đấu yếu súng thôi mà họ đã phải trả giá là 3 round thi đấu liên tục khi mà cái khí thế của 100T gọi là đăng lên. Tôi đã nói rồi, việc công khi bạn ở thủ thì nó sẽ làm con dao hai lưỡi. Nếu mà bạn chiến thắng liên tục thì nó sẽ áp đảo khí thế của phe công và họ sẽ không dám ra đấu mid. Tuy nhiên ngược lại, nếu bạn công mà chỉ cần một round thì bạn thua thì nó sẽ là một cái tâm lý ngược lại, và Long Xin hình như cũng đang bị tâm lý ngược lại rồi khi mà những round thi đấu thủ rồi họ bắn như mất ngủ. Ở đây Dami bắt đầu không còn một bài đẩy mid nào nữa. Francis gồng sát cái stun lên, chỉ cần lộ diện một thành viên thôi là sẽ stun ngay thẳng và Dami sẽ slide shot ra và bắn thẳng vào mồm. Đến lý thuyết là như thế nhưng mà tôi không biết Dami có làm được như tôi không. Nếu là tôi thì tôi sẽ ra bắn bốp vào mồm của bạn. Ôi, stun và không ai ở mid rồi. Timing là lầm lỡ và chắc chắn là đi về đến từ các thành viên của Long Xin mà thôi. Ở đây thì Timotino đã bò vào được elbow map, elbow xa rồi.
And that's what they're doing for the entire first minute. They are waiting for
Vào là nhạy cảm đến từ vị trí Xrod và bắt được vị trí của Timotino. Cái gì vậy? Check his PC. Check his PC. Please.
Back towards the B site.
Và đây thì đang sẵn có Cryo phá trap là sẽ là tín hiệu để cho các thành viên 100T băng vào side cùng trả về backside. Ở đây Ivy nghe được tiếng tele vào rồi. Ivy bị trả vào mộng và không qua được họng súng Cryo. Asuna bắt ngay Dami, tình huống lại trở thành 3v4. Đảo chiều lợi thế về người là liên tục. Ở đây bò vào mộng thì chắc là cái án tử dành cho Francis mà thôi. Mặc dù bắt được người đi lấp nhưng mà thế là không đủ. Ở đây Ivy đổi mạng Asuna. Gora đã dùng người Hunter để kết thúc đi mạng của Ivy. Một mình Xrod anh ấy chắc chắn không thể làm được năm như ra thi đấu nào đấy mà thôi. Chắc chắn là sẽ là 7 năm first half dành cho 100T. Bỏ lỡ quá nhiều cơ hội. Ai mà là chưa đủ. Một trận đấu giữa Long Xin và 100T nhưng mà lại rất nhiều fan mặc áo cả Cloud9 nữa, Sentinel ở đây.
The lead out of Nongshim's back pocket. That one has got to hurt. This felt like a series that they had control of, and especially because they were losing those rounds based on overconfidence, based on overplaying their hand.
But you have to bear in mind as well that this feels like a punish pick for the side of Nongshim. This is them going, okay, you're not going to ban.
Rất nhiều ra thi đấu có lợi về người, nhưng mà thực sự là bên Nongshim gần như là không một thắng khi mà họ cứ lần lượt ra để chết lẻ từng người một. Rất là khó hiểu khi Ivy ra thi đấu vừa rồi có thể bỏ lại cái sai và bắn đi tech mà lợi thế đang là 5v4, tức là cái ăn đồ để chết chay như vậy. Có thể là Ivy đang muốn bắn contact với chắc của mình nhưng mà quá đây. Thực sự tôi đánh giá LUπαιNG đang có lối bắn rất là cá nhân. Nếu như mà họ cải thiện được việc này thì họ thực sự tôi đánh giá họ sẽ là đội tuyển mạnh nhất thế giới. Thực ra thì họ đã chứng minh được rồi với chức vô địch Master Santiago. Nhưng mà tôi vẫn phải nói họ nên bắn cẩn thận lại. Mặc dù là một kiểu, nếu mọi người không biết thì ở các đội Hàn Quốc sẽ có một lối bắn macro rất hay như kiểu DRX hay T1, kiểu mà họ bắn hay là contact ngửa với nhau. Tuy nhiên LUπαιNG lại là một đội tuyển lại có pha một chút lẫn VALORANT trong đấy, khi mà họ hay thay đẩy kiểu như này.
Yeah, who's their best player?
I think Danby got Neon nerfed at the beginning of the year, but I think it's Ivy
Thì
so
đây,
far for me.
bạn đứng của LUπαιNG hôm qua, cốt của team VALORANT
Danby and Ivy, du coup, première question, vous avez affronté LUπαιNG hier, c'était compliqué. J'imagine que tu as dû regarder un peu le jeu, etc. Pourquoi est-ce qu'ils sont forts selon toi? Énormément de decision making collectif, ils trouvent les solutions ensemble, ils sont impressionnants, toujours même en milieu de round. Et pour moi, le meilleur joueur actuellement de LUπαιNG, c'est Ivy. And last but not least, even though the result, you know, didn't go your way, etc., what do you want to be taking back, you know, to Berlin from this weekend in Paris? I mean, this entire week in Paris, and also EWC.
I think we've been enjoying a bit of the weather, and the sun's been nice to actually be in Paris and be somewhere else. But I think ultimately the biggest thing is just getting to see the fans, getting to see all of you guys that have come to actually support. Unfortunately, not today. But yeah, being able to actually share a little bit more time with the club and feel like we are part of something that is a lot bigger than us. So it's nice.
Absolutely. Donc dernier petit mot de balle pour les fans. Ravi d'avoir pu vous rencontrer évidemment toute cette semaine. Merci à tous pour votre support. And let's see if LUπαιNG can or not take the win on this first map.
What does it take to beat LUπαιNG? Well, that's not a question that Pal can answer, but it looks like 100 Thieves may have come in with that question pre-filled. They played a blinder in that first, especially the second quarter. They come in with a complete awareness of what LUπαιNG want to do. They're ready for every piece of aggression. They seem to have protocols to deal with it, especially around mid in that late stage for Danby. He was not having even close to the success that we saw yesterday, where at times we had to question if he was even mortal.
Đây quay lại trở lại ra đấu khi mà LUπαιNG đang có phe công
versus G2, that's where we saw the most improvement.
Sớm đã được trả ra ở B.
Cryo has been on a tear.
Cryo đã bắt được một của Danby.
Definitely were a big part
Đây rồi.
of holding on to a lot of that pressure. Even still though, RB's gone TPing into the side, the ground is being claimed.
Rất nhiều người đẩy ra, Sơ ta được trả ra, Fora đã bắt được bạn của Francis. 130 cũng bắt được RB, Timony cũng làm đôi luôn. Và đó là 8 năm cho 100T.
Nhưng mà giải lần trước là tao thấy đọc ở đây là ấy mà.
Oh, that is a big step in the right
Giải
direction.
lần trước
Now,
thằng
I'm
Trọng
seeing
bắn như
MBS looking very comfortable on that side of the
đấy
stage.
là
As
cũng
you
thích
said,
rank Diamond thôi mà.
you come into this, you feel like it could be punished, but
Đâu, nó bảo
it's
là
looking
hai
for 100 Thieves like it
hai
very
đồng
much is something that they have prepared for day and night. Pistol, the cherry on top after a solid first half, a resurgence as well. The wind fully in their sails at 8-5.
Yeah, saving the map for the semi-finals.
Oh, that's a Spectre.
It's crazy. But yeah, a solo
Spectre with that.
no shield
Spectre.
Alright, so he's gonna ace. I'm ready.
I think he might have bought that as the barrier went up. I genuinely think that was a mistake.
Cùng chưa quét được ai
We'll
hết.
have to ask. Or maybe we'll never know.
Cryo, ui, pha bắn chọc đầu Cryo. Ben cũng làm 2 và đó là 3 cho Cryo. 1vs5.
Thôi, không cần tốn quá nhiều giọng và một round thi đấu yếu xuống này đâu. Chắc chắn sẽ là 95 này cho 100T rồi. Một round thi đấu không có biến số và đó là quát kill cho Quire với cẩu vốt của mình.
Chắc chắn là
Big round individually, maybe not the player you want to get your orbs on, but I don't think they're going to care.
I don't think that they're going to be very happy on LUπαιNG Red Force, on Francis in particular.
They'll just buy a sheriff and headshot everyone, it's fine.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it does work a lot of the time. Look at him, he makes that big investment, he jumps to the side and he gets picked out of the air.
He's just going to be the util boy. Util boy for this round. You sit back, put in the stuns, as long as he can afford his aftershock.
It's just so unlucky, he's like, oh, I bought this probably by accident, but I'll see what I can do with it. Just immediately blind fired at, caught the crossfire.
Rush thẳng vào A.
For 100 Thieves,
Nhưng mà liệu nghĩ được là Timothy cầm một khẩu súng ở đây không? Luis bắn trả ra là rất đẹp.
Atu sóc trả vào. Ui, Dami fly sóc ra bắt được mạng. Nhưng mà Asuna ở đây đang sau tường lửa giặc qua chắc chắn là chết. Ở đây Asuna không qua được hòng súng Francis, Quaio và Avi lần lượt đổi lại cho nhau. 3v1 6-9 dành cho Long Xin. Tôi bảo rồi, lượng đồ đá như này dồn vào là quá kinh khủng. Thực sự là
all now grouping up on this angle as well. Well, actually no.
Rush lại là hay à?
I guess they're not. X-Rush just walked across with his knife out, so they're not certain.
One way. Make it awkward and
đoán được ra được là Creo.
bị kết thúc mạng Quaio nâng tỷ số lên thành 6-9 dành cho Long Xin.
Vẫn còn cơ hội anh em ơi, vẫn còn cơ hội cho Long Xin anh em nhá.
You can see the sheer pace that this attack side of Nongshim will look to try and bring through into some of these rounds. This is where things should get a little bit more interesting though. The rifles on the board for both sides. The first full investment. The only ultimate online, the neural theft, which, okay, if Nongshim tried to pull off a ruse, might affect the round, but by the looks of it, they're gambling on this A side once again.
Đúng vậy, dự đoán của tôi đã đúng, nhưng mà Francis đã bắt được một của Timotino. Timotino nổi được mạng.
Nhảy cái gì đấy, nhảy cái gì đấy.
Tôi biết ngay mà, tôi đã có dự cảm không lành cho Nongshim mà.
Ôi, cái gì mà nhảy sang xuống quăng quay của người ta vậy? Ô, làm cái gì đấy?
Left on the other side of the map and
Sôi xong vẫn là IV.
I think now they're going to start to get an idea of what 100 Thieves are looking for early on. Like it's been a lot of presence on that A side.
Tình huống khó.
A lot of utility swinging out, not just from Timotino, but it's the fact that as soon as there, you have the Phoenix flashes, you have the paranoia from Bang coming deep.
IV bắt súng nhưng mà IV đã bắt được vào một Creo. Chắc là không dám đẩy ra bắt nữa đâu.
Của đấy à, vừa pha đấy 5 khi làm cái quá như vậy khi mà nhảy sang vô con người team bạn là liên từng thành viên một nhảy ra chết rồi là bắt đầu mạng IV 16 anh 6 cho one năng lớp
It looks like they're fairly in control of this at this point. Those explosive moments of those 5 rounds in the middle of the pack.
Đấy, toàn fan sen đi của Vũ Bang thôi.
It seemed like it could be the same steamroller that we saw yesterday.
Đây, Trang Hiếu Phan anh nhảy cái gì qua con xuống con quay ạ.
Have learned to soak up that pressure. They had responses to that same side A aggression that they failed to hold in the last round in their bonus. And already,
xuống con quay mà đặt ra
they are a team that are quite happy if the moment feels right to invest even 2 pauses back to back in a row if they feel that they are necessary.
Mình chết một mình rồi, mình phải
It looks like we're going to have them talk things over in this circumstance to see if they can find a solution and quick as well, because you're coming up with that punish. Sure, I don't think that I sit there and look at Lotus and feel like it's a dominant in either side. In fact, both teams have beaten an EMEA team in overtime. Those are the victories they've had throughout this tournament so far on Lotus. But even still, when you go into Sunset, a map your opponent hasn't played, and they look this comfortable, it does seem like 100 Thieves have come in today with a game plan.
I will look at Nongshim as well, though, and my genuine wonder is, have they tripped themselves up?
Nếu mà thua format 1 thì tôi sẽ nghĩ sẽ là tỷ số 2-0 khi mà tôi shooter thấy Long Xin mình bắt tốt cách khá tốt. Điểm xuống ống không là đủ đầy khi mà có thành viên phải cầm đi một khẩu xe blitz, có thành viên phải cầm bulldog, phải trả giá cho việc thua round thi đấu vừa rồi. Chó trả vào, đang đi bắt đầu vào tia xa, nhưng mà ở đây là 2 cái chat này từ vị trí của Quaio. Ôi, cái gì đấy, Dami ơi, nhảy ít thôi. Thôi, Phượng Hoàng tái tranh ở đây, Francis thì bắt đi mạng. Cái Phượng Hoàng tái tranh của Asuna bắt được đá bóng. Ôi, nhưng mà Ivy ở đây thì Timotino đang đi móc rồi. 4v4, phát trả ra, sáng xoán cho Ivy đổi mạng. Cover rất nhanh. Ui, ta không qua được khổng súng của X-Rod. Ở đây có một mình Quaio và Vora. Quaio bắt đi vào bằng X-Rod rồi. Phát trả ra đến từ vị trí của Abi. Mà Abi chỉ có một tí máu thôi. Vora bắt đầu mà Abi rồi, biết 2 thành viên ở vị trí CT rồi. Có trả ra cho mình cái ấy không đây? Thôi, chỉ bắt được Vora. Tình 2v1 mà từ từ đã nhá. Rồi Ivy cái tôi rồi. Rồi bình tĩnh cho Ivy, người ta chưa tắt bom mà cứ trốn đi mà thôi. Trốn đi. Rồi giờ ta chắc chắn chết.
He'll get it to half a leaf, maybe even try and stick it
đấy anh ơi.
further, but he lands the shot the last second.
Kì
Has
rồi.
he got the diffuser?
Cái gì đấy anh Vinh ơi.
Once again, it's going to close out a round for 100 Thieves.
That is a crazy clutch from him. It felt like it was played pretty well on the other side. Ivy ran the clock down as much as he could, even went in for the shoulder peek at the end there. And from his perspective,
Francis đã làm rất tốt nhưng mà Ivy bảo không, tao không muốn thắng. Nó nhả ra rồi thì trốn tiếp đi.
And you can see even at the end they weren't sure he had it, but a big
Thôi mẹ đi rồi bắt đầu bài đẩy ra rồi. Francis đây bắt được Timotino Asuna thì bắt được bạn Dami, bắt được Asuna. Ở đây Tele ra đến từ bang, ôi Tele TikTok đến từ bang.
Chấm hết rồi, thật sự là chấm hết.
Và fake Tele đến từ bang. Thủ bố đi.
Không sao anh
Quát
ba.
các gì trong hàng. Thua đi. Bắn cả thị.
Houdini to shame with the way he managed to disappear from vision.
Anh bang của tôi trận
And
này
then
rất là nóng tay.
reappear in a spot that nobody expected. Not one player was ready for Bang in that corner. And no surprise, I think we're going to be seeing another pause. Just
Đi
look
qua
at
không
this
check
one
góc
goes,
đến
and
từ
it's
vị
the
trí của
hard
Ari
for
nhặt khẩu
Francis.
súng như trốn không người.
That moment is going to be in the back of his head for quite some time. He
Ôi,
looks to
Ari
check if
nhặt
somebody's
cái
there.
độ cực cao nhá.
But
Hắn
it's
thích
a
bích
half
người.
check. Then they're
Tao để ý rồi, kể cả lúc nó
They'd
thủ
already
thế.
killed two players. They saw re-aggression coming out, and why would he still be there? And then just further reinforcement. You hear that TP and you think, anyone who was even cautious of him being around there, he's leaving. He's running away. He's fleeing. Let's get around that corner and catch him. Losing sight.
Tham cái gì nữa, 13-7 luôn đi, 13-6-13-7 luôn đi, bắn cả mắt.
And 100 Thieves use it.
Ui cái gì mà Pacific lát hô, tôi tin nhầm người rồi, tôi ngu đi đủ vô đội này.
Now this is a squad that
có lẽ
seemed to have a commanding lead at a point with a chance to push it even further. They failed to secure a lead at the halftime, and from there 100 Thieves have emptied the vault. They've taken them for everything they're worth with Nongshim almost guaranteed to need a reverse sweep for the grand final spot.
Đội tuyển khác nhau.
Back to back.
Chỉ có mỗi trong 100 T.
And now Nongshim need to find 6 in a row. The thing is they've been investing over the last few rounds, so it's not like they've been building up to a big buy. This is still them on the brink.
Nhưng mà liệu
only a singular
không vào
primary rifle,
retake về.
but they do have a couple of ults to play with. Now we saw them on the defense. Both of these in one round, and wow, blink and you miss it. Timotino's already got the first.
Cái là 13-6.
Putting map 1 on the board for 100 Thieves.
Có khi mà ở đây còn Binoshim phải đi qua được cái cửa bang. Người đang rất là bay.
It is the demon from their darkest dreams, their nightmares in the previous bang.
Hay nhờ.
In the corner, put 100 Thieves up to 12. Timotino's not stopping either. He's pushing forward, but Bang might hold his ground, but the reinforcements are coming. Attack onto Francis. He's down to 10 HP, and what was previously one man on this A side is now 3, is now 4. In fact, 100 Thieves have wrapped in heavy, and it seems like Nongshim are going to take advantage of that. The spike's going the other way.
Playing off site. Nice shot from Dami.
Khuyên ra liền thẳng vào mồm TP
is going to give the information that they are outside that side of the map. Already rolling thunder in, but it's not going to connect onto anybody. They'd left. That moment of the site. Shock dart in. Plum coming through with 7 seconds to spare. And this flank could end up being everything, but it needs to get a move on. In fact, I think he knows it. Starts running it down behind. Tries to give space. But it's 4 again. Leaving RB is all that remains. And 100 Thieves from what was looking like a bit of a dangerous map. A map they banned all the way through the tournament so far. They have won it convincingly in the second half.
A remarkable performance from 100 Thieves, starting out behind and then running away with the game. For Nongshim, coming in today after dishing out an incredible defeat to Vitality. You thought that they would come in today as the biggest challenge 100 Thieves have ever faced, and yet we have seen them prepared for every trick up the sleeve of Nongshim. 100 Thieves starting this out 1-0, and it seems like there's danger for Korea's #1.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Tom. Map #1, 6-6 at half. So close, but then it's just rifled off yet again for 100 Thieves. And they get themselves that sunset, that unique pick that we weren't fully sure if they knew what they were doing, but they definitely knew what they were doing.
They definitely were. It was definitely a trap card, letting that map be permabanned the whole time that they've been playing here in EWC, as well as when the map was first introduced. 13-6, that's not a scoreline I would have expected, though. Kind of insane to see how 100 Thieves played on this map.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be disappointed if you're Nongshim. This was a map where we were impressed with them before. They brought that breach out. I was excited about it, but this is what happens if you play breach twice in a row, in my mind. You kind of get exposed.
Yeah, welcome back here to our analyst space. Joining us is Vitality head coach Pal, as Mitch gave that toss without knowing you were here.
I think he did, yeah.
That's messed up, Mitch.
Yeah,
also, big time joining us here. Yeah.
He just chose not to say anything.
Obviously, you got pulled in during that halftime interview with Lou, but what did you see so far from this match?
I think the biggest thing is just that 100 Thieves, obviously, as you were saying, they've left it open in this series for a reason. They were ready for that pick. They kind of expected Nongshim to go, yep, there's a gap, there's an opportunity we can make the most of, and they've prepped really, really well. I think that's the clear bit. They were ready for that pick. They knew, as you said, what that breach was going to be doing every time, and they were absolutely on top of that.
Yeah, big time. You had a replay for us here in round 8, something that you wanted to see early on.
So this is like the success of Nongshim in a way. This is what the breach comp does the best. So when they can make it work like this, the rounds start to look beautiful. This defender half, I was getting a little bit excited. I was starting to feel good about Nongshim. But it was more as the game progressed. So this is truly old school Nongshim. They've been running this kind of strat on the map since 2024. It's all about enabling Dambi. But then you see it more when we move across to that second half, especially. It stops working, it slows down, and the counters start to appear from 100 Thieves.
And that's the problem with Breach as a whole. When he's in any comp, is he starts to get kind of red really easily. And I feel like for Nongshim, they tried. That round was the only kind of wild card that they threw out there, but everything else was red by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we saw Cryo top the charts there, 400 Thieves, being that defensive cipher and just slowing down the very telegraphed plays. That feels like it compositionally, you're kind of stunting yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you've said that they're playing into their style, ultimately.
Yeah.
That's the biggest strength. That's the thing that makes Nongshim so brilliant and has got them this far. So we can say it's stunting them, it's restricting them, it's maybe putting a ceiling on what they can do, but also what they've already got planned out is something we know they're going to be absolutely consistent with.
Yeah, and I think when you're looking at a player like Cryo, right, his defense side, his positioning was absolutely phenomenal, popping the cages at the right times, using those one-ways to get the spray downs, and I think he had way too many multi-frags than he should have. He should have been traded so many times, but he was just so good. Yeah, we didn't even know he had time for the spike. Insane.
He's too good. He's having a fantastic tournament so far, but exactly the way he's dancing around those sites is amazing to watch. I felt like he was never hit by the breach util. He was always able to stay alive, hang on, and get two every time they came to his site, which means it's impossible to attack into that.
It's kind of crazy, too, because we usually see this kind of performance from Cryo on something like a chamber. On a Cypher, though, he's been insane. Not getting the opening picks, but getting 3 almost every single time they hit his site is
over 300 ACS on that last one. As we turn our focus now over to Lotus, that is map #2. What are your thoughts about that map here for these two squads?
It's interesting because obviously Nongshim banded against us yesterday, so it's obviously a map they're clearly not too comfortable with. When we were looking at it in prep, it was one that was we were looking at to target as well. So I think, again, 100 Thieves have taken the same angle that Nongshim kind of did and going, right, here's a gap, here's something we obviously back ourselves on that they look a little bit questionable with, we're going to go for it. Does that then mean that we end up seeing a similar surprising result on this map? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very possible. For Nongshim, we've seen it once here at EWC against Gentlemates, where it was a big overtime, but they got the job done. Ultimately, though, it's definitely not a map where they're incredibly comfortable. It feels the bigger, more open maps, I do think they tend to struggle if they can't do the, Breeze. They like the Slam A because they make a small. On Lotus, you can't do that. So I do worry here that they need to show a lot of resilience and bounce back, because 100 Thieves, they'll be feeling great about this map.
Listen, let's forget the history, right? 100 Thieves, they've been good at this map.
Okay.
Forget the history.
All right.
Based on that last map alone, 100 Thieves is winning this. Guys, there's no way. The macro, everything is looking so good.
That's an incredible setup for what's about to come. You would presume so.
Okay.
But you've never seen Nongshim run it down. I have. I was on the receiving end. It's not fun. You can win a first map against these guys, and then it doesn't go to plan after that.
Okay, true.
So who knows?
Well, that was my question. One thing that jumped out at me about EWC as a tournament as a whole is we've seen so many times people losing on their own map picks, including when they lose map 1, they're like, oh no. And then they go steal the map away. Why has that been so prevalent so far in this tournament?
I think it just comes down to preparation time. Like, you've got a wide range of teams that some have had loads of time, some have not had a huge amount of time. And when you've got international matchups that are quite new for the first time, and you don't necessarily understand exactly what it is like to play against a certain team, sometimes just that surprise factor can catch you off. Either because the players go, okay, this is now what it feels like, or the other team has gone, yeah, they're going to pick this map every time. We're just going to spend all night preparing for it.
I think to add on to your point as well, I think the meta sort of enables that to be the case. In the double duelist, we see a lot more Phoenix. We see the snowball start to get online very early for a lot of these teams. So it doesn't matter. Let's say it's your map pick, but the opponent wins a pistol. They win a bonus. They're in an advanced ult cycle here. It doesn't matter if you feel strong about the macro if you're getting run over every round.
Athena, your region is up 1-0. Give us the copion on why they're going to close it out here in 2.
Listen, I just know that Valorant is a momentum-based game. And based off what we're seeing right now, Nongshim, they're not showing me that they have a lot under their sleeves. It feels a little bit more 100 Thieves-sided. That crazy clutch coming in from Cryo, he's on fire. He's one of those players you really want to see perform. And if he's performing like that, and Asuna and Timotino come online, it's kind of GG's.
Is it 2-0 or 2-1? We're going to a map 3.
Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to agree with that. I think this is going to be a 2-0. As much as I'd love to see Nongshim go on and win the whole event, just for my sake more than anything else, I would put this down to a 2-0.
Very quick.
You guys are forgetting something really important.
Here we go.
Here we go. Pacific will win. Pacific will always win. They come back reverse sweep time.
All right, before we get back with map number 2 of NRG versus BBL, before we get back with map 2 of this next matchup.
It's not over yet, Degon.
Don't forget, season 2 of Level Up with the EWC documentary will be back on Prime Video, so go check that out whenever you can. Take a look at the trailer.
VALORANT has exploded into a global phenomenon.
Spike planted.
16 teams vied for the crown, but now only one will take it.
Watch their dreams shatter before them.
I remember watching Pokimane and trying to get a drop, and I was like super excited to get it, and I was just grinding the game with my brother.
I started like really playing the game when I was like 14. Then by like 15, I realized that there is some potential here that could be done in this game.
I started winning some tournaments, like local lands, and at some point I was like, maybe I could like go far.
I think he brings a lot to the team, his communication, his flexibility on the duelist role.
He's funny, making jokes, and at the same time he's like very serious and hardworking.
So Sayonara was someone that was really well known to basically everybody in the scene. He's at his best.
I said my family I'm gonna be pro player, and they said ignore it, go school. But I said just trust me. And I trust myself too, And when I signed the contract, I proud myself too much.
He gives us energy, he gives us his aim, he gives us his brain. Like, everyone thinks he can only shoot, but he can do everything. Like, he can play every character, he can play every role. Like, he's a joker in our team.
It feels like people believe in me for a reason, because they know I'm good. So I take it as a compliment each time and try to prove to everyone that I am that guy and I can play as good as I can.
He's kind of like playing a lot, learning a lot, and kind of like trying to share it too.
He's not a player who wants absolutely to be micromanaged, for coaches to be involved in everything. He's very confident in what he has, in the things that he's done previously, and we just need to make sure that we're there and available to do everything we possibly can for him.
You're looking at all these rookies that are coming to Tier 1, and they just look like the best players on the planet.
The young generation can take a bit more strategic approach to the game while still having fun and running around.
I'm so unbelievably excited to play on the biggest stage, especially here in Paris. I just can't wait.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
It's another call from Starso. I don't know if he has time for this one though, Kev. It's going to be very close. Oh, that is unbelievable. Also,
Hello everyone, welcome back to 100 Thieves versus Nongshim Red Force, and it is 100 Thieves up 1-0 and on the cusp of making the grand finals and one step closer towards etching their name in history at EWC.
Yeah, an incredibly dominant first map from them. Nongshim cannot get the ball rolling with their old school signature style. I want to see something new. I want to see something fresh. I want to see some passion and power from these players to stay alive. Otherwise, they will be heading home. Their key will be crushed here at EWC.
And on the other side with 100 Thieves, I'm looking to see them keep up their creativity, make sure they're keeping up that confidence as well in the server against Nongshim. These are no easy players to beat. They have proven records. Like you mentioned earlier, winning that first map doesn't mean everything. The return in the fight, taking that map pick away, is definitely a possibility here for Nongshim.
Yeah, talk to me about that, pal. What are you saying right now? You're in the dressing room of 100 Thieves. You've just had that big map win on your opponents. How are you preparing for the next when momentum is in your favor?
Whatever I didn't say yesterday. I think ultimately it's about just trying to reset. It's about just bringing yourselves back to a point of, okay, say what we need to put that map behind us. That's always our go-to ritual. Right, get everything out, do your little toilet breaks, do have your snacks, and then just about getting yourselves back into an equal playing field.
Yeah.
Okay? You might be 1-0 up, you might be 1-0 down. Bring ourselves back to a point of, okay, now we have a new challenge. It's going to start with this pistol round. What is the strat for that? So a little bit of just making sure we hear the feedback from the players. They get they get defense stuff, they get to celebrate stuff, and then you just reset from there, basically.
56% win rate so far this year for Nongshim. But they're going to have to come up big here on the pick for 100 Thieves.
I think it's kind of crazy too, because before coming into this match, 100 Thieves actually had an 80% win rate on their pistols, winning 8 out of 10 of their pistols. I can't remember who won that first game because I was busy going wild. Nope. But we're actually going to see the agent select.
100 Thieves got both in that one. Surprise, surprise. We do have the agent select coming in now for Nongshim. It looks like their old school patented comp. We saw them play this against Gentlemates, a tough OT, but they got the job done. I will say there's something glaringly missing for me in this composition that I've spoke about non-stop, which is that Viper. 100 Thieves, they're playing it properly old school.
Properly old school, absolutely. I think looking at Timotino here to really abuse that, to make the most of the fact that he can put himself on that waylay, especially in this first half on the fence, in really awkward positions where he's not having his line of sight denied, they're not taking away any of the information he's able to steal, and then they're able to shift that Omen across to the Viper and the Vise sides to hard hold it, and at that point, it's just up to Nongshim to try and explode through as much defense as possible.
On that second half as well, Ivy's going to have to defend against that waylay, but there's so much verticality and burst there that it is able to bring that it makes his job very difficult. Ivy's been a fantastic player all tournament, but I will say it does look like the odds are stacked against him here.
100%. I think we're going to see a lot of the fighting from Dambi and X-Ross, absolutely, and ultimately it's that duo taking the fight 200 Thieves that's going to have to make the difference.
Big time. You have waxed poetic about many things, but the Viper on Lotus is the thing.
Say your real thoughts.
How do you feel right now, given you're like, it's, they're playing it correctly. How do you really feel?
Valorant is a deeply strategic game. Everybody knows that.
Rubbish.
But it's also a very deeply vibes-based game. It's also about who wants it more in the server. Viper or no Viper, maybe they have a disadvantage. But maybe I don't care. Maybe they don't care. I'm feeling good for Nongshim, baby. Let's go.
Viper or no Viper, I know two guys who always want it. They're on the cast right now. It is Tom and Mitch.
That's only from you, Deacon. Well, Tom, it's time to see how Map 2 plays out, considering Nongshim had such a good start to the previous, but then it really fell apart. It looked like 100 Thieves came in more than ready for what their opponents were trying to put out there. It was a compositional conversation as well for me in the previous. I feel like Nongshim came in with a comp that didn't really suit them and how they like to play, especially those late rounds. A lot of risks being taken, and sometimes it was a little bit of a handover played. I wonder if coming in here, we'll see that fade away a little bit as we move more towards comfort.
Yeah, I think Exor's being back on the duelist is always going to be that little bit more exciting, although I am a little bit sad that, if things maybe don't go to plan in this map, we might not get to see his Phoenix, because that's what I've been enjoying most throughout this tournament so far. But I do sit and look at this and go, okay, I don't think either team necessarily blew me away in their victories. I think a very close win, and obviously that crazy comeback victory for Nongshim when they played against the Mates, which they ended up losing that series as well. So it's whether or not that we can see that slightly better attack once we get there, which they massively struggled on, or if they are going to have a sort of another defensive masterclass, which I almost felt like was more of a Mates crumbling than them really having a stellar showing on this side of the map. The fact is, though, both teams are kind of in a similar position where regionally this map hasn't gone fantastically well, and then when they came here they've won once in overtime. So I feel like we're in a level playing field, just 100 Thieves. So far their game plan has been far better.
Yeah, it definitely was. Preparation paid off on map number 1 for 100 Thieves is a false trap set their opponents got caught in. Now a pistol round with a stack up on the stairs and a double pick to start. 100 Thieves, man advantage. For a moment, looked like Timotino would continue this push. Is certainly getting curious.
Anh em vào thi đấu xứng ở đây, Asuna bắt thằng ai bị 42 rồi. Xong xin ơi, có định chơi đây tìm một bắt được nào Ami. Mà tìm người bắt của mạng Asuna mà chắc chắn chỉ là còn những exit farm mà thôi, thì nó trở thành một V3. Ủa rồi, Phan là chống xóa, Fire không nhìn thấy gì cả, Phan xịt bò gần vào, vừa bò vào khu vực nước này thì sẽ cái án thưởng nó thôi. Ui, nào, một Ferry rất hay dễ làm ma nhá. Phan xịt rồi, một bạn thì cho Phan xịt nhưng mà không đủ, đồ chip một kia, 1-0 dành cho 100T, vô lục à?
Yeah, a great pistol round from 100 Thieves. Again, sitting and waiting towards A main with the 3-man stack up, the high, low, and medium. Makes it a nice, easy firing squad to start this out, but then they go for the re-aggression out on C, win all of the duels, at least the important ones.
Yeah, and a third pistol.
Indeed, yeah. It's more so towards the second half, I think, of though, like, pistol for Nongshim might have given them a bit of momentum. Instead, it was what 100 Thieves were able to do with that half-2 pistol. Completely shut Nongshim out. Remember, there was a point we were like, oh, it should be 6-2.
Rồi thì nó không cái số khi mà 5 khẩu classic của Nongshim chắc chắn là sẽ chạy thẳng vào B thôi.
100 Thieves now going to look to them see if they can have that same sort of start to this defense right away. It's an isolated player. Danby does manage to survive the moment. They want to deal with him before he's given a chance to push with the rest of his squad. Door open for Bang, and very aggressive up against the pistols, but it is working.
But that's the thing, they've got Spectres across the board and then a singular sniper. Like, this is one where you almost need to just be getting that little bit closer than maybe you would have liked. I'm definitely going to be intrigued to see how these are used in towards the bonus round. Like, what sort of plan 100 Thieves have. How is Ivy winning that
Một
fight?
mình Ivy ở đây, thôi sẽ là 20 cho 100 T. Hết
I
rồi.
also wonder if part of
Long
that
Sina.
is just how much we see this Nongshim side able to do with the pistols. You just go, let's just get Spectres, let's strafe, run, and just headshot them as we go, and make sure that this round is a comfortable conversion and gives us something to play with into the next round.
I do think that for Nongshim, this round is going to carry a lot of weight. Looking at how this started, 100 Thieves, it's an anti-eco, but look at how aggressive they were. They looked for all of those fights. Those are the mistakes that typically...
Một giờ thi đấu full buy, khi mà lượng sống của mình kia chỉ là những thuật quét chen kèm thêm một giờ outlaw để có chiến thắng là dành cho các thành viên Nongshim. Đây không, đây Ivy bị bắn yếu đi rồi, còn lại trong mình là 11 máu.
Big tag to open this up coming out of Timotino. Ivy's going to be healed back up, but that outlaw now becomes deadly for him as well as the majority of this Nongshim squad.
I wonder if that's why the Spectres are in. If you know that your opponents are constantly buying light shields in these rounds, the Spectre becomes more and more deadly. A much higher chance of being able to clear out some of those kills.
Chắc là định tràn vào C với bài thi đấu này. Ở đây là các thành viên đến từ vị trí Nongshim chạy smoke vào rồi phát ra. Nào vẫn chưa phá được cái tường đâu các thành viên Nongshim ơi. Liệu có định vào sai không đây, nhưng mà vào sai đây đang là 3 thành viên đến từ các vị trí của 100T. Khả năng là phải rotate rồi, quá khó để vào C ở thời điểm này khi mà đó là 3 thành viên đến từ vị trí 100T trong sai. Và Seed bắt đầu góp dần dần về A. Xin ra để check lại. Này, ôi, như là lộ rồi. Bang, tên em về.
One perhaps of fear, as 100 Thieves have kept them back even with these weaker weapons. The rotation's dragged over, Danby goes down. But the C site should now be easier to take. That's the idea, and it better be. There's 20
lại quay lại về C.
still a vice wall up.
Quay là như trong chóng nhưng mà ở đây vẫn còn vị trí của Danby. Nào đây bắt được đi vị trí của Ivy. Ui, Nongshim đang làm cái quái gì vậy? Ui, Seed đây, Crow bắt được X-Rock thôi. Ui giời ơi, đặt bom xong thì cũng sẽ là cái án tử dành cho vị trí của Seed mà thôi. Và đó sẽ là 3-0 dành cho 100T.
3-0 for 100 Thieves.
This was his round. Not only was he hitting tags from the get-go, like leaving players low, but he was everywhere. We saw him take fights on the entirety of the map, starting out aggressively on A, moving his way through the middle of the map on B at one point, and then fighting back into the C side. Literally wherever Nongshim went, Timotino was waiting, and he's even there to close it out in the end. What a fantastic round from him individually. And as said, looking at the attack side last time out versus mates, there needed to be a bonus round. There needed to be a good start on the attack side for Nongshim, and it has not happened.
Honestly, up against Vitality, I don't think I saw Nongshim approach a single round with that sense of trepidation. And then you look at this round, where they have the rifles and their opponents have got the weak weapons. It's a big map, like Lotus as well. One where if you decide to just, hey, let's run at that site and see what happens. Even against those low buys, there should be less numbers there. But they were so scared. And for good reason. 100 Thieves showed that they've got claws, even in rounds like that. And now Nongshim are left with pistols. Certainly nowhere you want to count them out. They've already traded blows. A lot of damage done, but 100 Thieves are playing this super passive. Sitting back, allowing them to have that early space. And when the utility's gone, they'll look for the fight.
Backside. Asuna waiting. A chance at range to spray down multiple players. They're looking to put the pressure onto him, and he thrives under that pressure. 4 kills in a matter of seconds, and while the aces are going to be handed over, Cryo doesn't want him to get all of the limelight, but there was only one man that was important in this round, and that was very comfortable in the end.
All these fans, be it 100 Thieves or Gentlemates fans, but they're having one hell of a show here today. came in rooting. A lot rooting for Nongshim even over on that mate side. We saw a lot of their jerseys stand up as those boys mounted the stage, but this is a completely different vibe from what we saw yesterday, from what we've seen from Nongshim all tournament long. And we're getting a timeout here. No surprise with how things have gone. A 4-0 start, the next round carrying a lot of weight for this squad. As at this stage, it's not just about this, it's about the end of the previous map. This has been a streak where 100 Thieves look and feel more and more confident by the round.
Yeah, I felt like we saw glimpses of this on Split yesterday, where Nongshim went a little bit silent. I think it was 4 rounds in a row for Vitality. Then Exros wins 1 round with the Sheriff, and they're right back. It's like nothing ever happened.
With the Sheriff, yeah.
And I think that might be the moment that they need, because that sort of quirky, aggressive style hasn't been shown just yet. And I think that can be the case. There's a couple of maps where they do look that little bit more uncomfortable on a certain side. And at least for now, it seems like 100 Thieves are firmly in the driver's seat. Everybody stepping up. Of course, we've seen this organization throughout Valorant's history. 3rd to 4th at an international event is something they have achieved before. But making it to that grand final versus opposition from around the world is something that has evaded them. And well, if it keeps going as it does right now, they might be taking down the Santiago Masters winners to get into that grand final.
A team who has looked on form, again, looking at the gigantic win they had yesterday over Vitality, but Nongshim in general. They played an impressive game. They looked like players like Dambi, even after the Neon nerf, were coming through lights out. Ivy reaching another lane, another level.
Where are they going?
Over the last couple of days, X-Ross on the Duelist, but everything, and even Francis in that previous map, but it hasn't been enough here. They've not made a dent just yet.
Are they gonna push him? Smoke up, TP into it, reveal over the back? Because at least for a moment, it looked like that was the goal. Instead, they're hearing players go through mid and immediate usage.
Thì trả ra đến từ team Motino bắt bài ơi, nhưng mà ở đây Dami thì làm đôi đến từ Dami ở đây rồi, bắt được thêm một bạn nữa đến từ net của X-Ross. Ui, đây là một round thắng gần như chắc chắn 100% nếu họ không quăng. 5v2.
Could have been another nasty trap. Quickly becomes a Nongshim round.
That's a really big round from Dambi already. The Cryo left alone. The first on the board by the looks of things. Presence outside the B site was all they needed. 100 Thieves overheat. Dematino's ultimate is the go call for Dambi.
Toxin screen down.
And his early success, Dambi in particular, his early success hasn't been there. We saw 100 Thieves dealing with him, starting to shut him down on Sunset.
Tung còn 1v5 và chắc chắn sẽ là 1-4 dành cho Nongshim, mà thôi họ đang vứt ra lại hy vọng cuối cùng để có thể đưa được trận thi đấu này đến trận thi đấu thứ 3. Họ nên bắn cẩn thận lại, nên bắn đồng đội hơn, đừng bắn cá nhân nữa. Xin ơi.
Like even this weapon being saved is going to have a huge amount of impact for 100 Thieves. They've already got a lot of credits built up. But happy to save it over the butterfly effect, of course. No point messing with that.
Well, no, it's
chipping away at your own economy for what, a couple orbs.
Well, this is it. Like, look at this as well from a Nongshim perspective. Like, you haven't managed to get any rounds onto the board just yet, and when you do, you win it flawlessly. Like, you get that economy boost, you get yourself an opportunity to really build into this game. But it's one where I don't know if it's recreatable. Like, you had a hyper-aggressive move to try and trap them in the B site. 2 players were waiting, I think just got baited out, and then just a swing through the smoke in classic Nongshim style is what ends up turning the round in their favor. I don't think it's going to rock 100 Thieves, but it might give them a little bit more of a tentative defense.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that round comes down to 100 Thieves thinking that smoke outside C would be given a lot more respect than it was, and now they go back to
maybe that one too.
Aggression from Timatino with his get out of jail free card. He fires once, bails, takes Francis out. A lot of utility removed. The dog you'd love to have to be the trailblazer. Instead, Dambi sent through to do that. The first on the board already. Wrap in from Timatino, but it's Vora on the side. He's gone in for more. With Ivy all alone. The 2 kills under his belt already. The spike still needs to be recovered. The ultimate could help, but getting into a position to use it is difficult. He knows that there's an operator on that site. He's cautious of it, but unaware of Asuna.
I think you're witnessing some of the value of that Viper wall as well. Like, they put that deeper smoke down, and then just the Viper wall goes up. Timotino walks through the smoke. He knows that there can be nobody on the other side because they can't have been there yet. They drop the wall. That's the opening pick. This, though, from Vora is a little bit more magic. Just having 2 players attempting to cross and then even predicting where that 3rd player will be. He's the one that wins the round, but I really want to see how Nongshim are going to deal with fighting around that Viper wall, because it can't be as simplistic as let's just walk out and think our smoke has done the work, because we saw in the last round that Timotino is more than happy to challenge that space.
Of course he is. With an op and a refract, why not? Aggression again with Ivy waiting this time. Unaware that there's a second part of that attack, but it has been spotted now. Asuna pops the ultimate.
Interesting.
In their spawn. Again, this is just him trying to stay alive, but the TP taken towards the seaside. It doesn't seem to matter. Ivy's taken the round into his own 2 hands.
Enemy remaining.
With Vora last alive, yeah, he'll get the jump on 1, but 4 more to take down. A 1v5 ace clutch is needed for 100 Thieves to keep this momentum going.
It's been a weird couple of rounds for Nongshim. The first was Danby the hero. Nope. Nope, that's awkward. And the next was Ivy. A quick shot for the first, but then the double just catching rotations. I am interested in the ult that was thrown out as well. The Steel Garden being utilized as maybe a deterrent, but it definitely didn't work. They were more than happy to continue that push forward, and you could see the level of surprise on the 100 Thieves players' faces. Even still, though, the rounds for Nongshim thus far have felt like a bit more of a flash in the pan, some individual brilliance. And with still plenty of credits for 100 Thieves, they're back with an ult once again.
Thieves towards that seaside. You can see the bang is stepping up a little bit, taking some space. The operator right around the corner. The dog on its way. Of course, he can always just TP out even from that spot. Exactly what he'll do. It's because of that he's able to survive. And this early round for both teams is them sitting back, waiting for their operators to be challenged, waiting for someone to peek out around the corner. As of right now, a stalemate. It really does put the pressure on towards Nongshim. Door open. They've sent Vora running. Dive in from Timotino as a result, but he spotted one outside A. For 100 Thieves, there's not much they can do here. There's presence all across the map.
Also with the showstopper, they can kind of go late into this sort of round. And with the Nightfall on the other side, there's even an element for 100 Thieves that might just want to try and play this as a retake. Instead, though, the potential for the weaponry to be removed, and it looks like 100 Thieves have a completely wrong read. They are sending 4 players towards that seaside of the map and leaving Asuna completely alone.
Yeah, they thought the smokes were put down on A just to rob them of info so the fake would work, but instead it's a full-on attack. Asuna able to delete the showstopper. 12 seconds left. The spam is good. It stopped the plant. It's bought them at least a little bit more time. 100 Thieves, 6 seconds on the clock. One more denial would be enough, but the spike planted. Nongshim find themselves just enough room to set up a bang. That's a big pick. He can wait now for Cryo, who's on his way down below, but the reposition of Francis, that seems to have given Nongshim the upper hand. And it may well pull them across the line with the op still sitting around. Sure, the shot is missed, but they still have time on their side. 2 players to run that clock down.
Snake bite.
It's good, but look, he's going to wait. Francis running that all the way down to the final second. They are playing this to win off of the clock, and I think they've already got it done. Camby most certainly locks it in.
Back and forth round. A lot of ultimates that needed to be used there for the Nongshim side, but I think the timing of the Steel Garden ended up being the best, because I was a little bit worried. Like, I saw them priming it originally, and I was like, okay, for Asuna, that's basically a death sentence, especially if the showstopper is used at the same time. Then they just used the showstopper. I'm like, oh, okay, actually, maybe they're in with a chance, but he uses it in the middle stage of the round, allows them to get that plant in with a lot less danger. and then just play those post plants, play the time. 3 of the last 4 rounds for Nongshim. After the start they had, I was getting a little bit worried. And also, Mitch, now that economy runs dry. They finally broken the 100 Thieves bank.
Yeah, it felt like almost an impossibility at a certain point, but chipped away at it, bit by bit, piece by piece. For 100 Thieves setting up again in terms of those traps, but the walk through, the timing, caught by Ivy, the flash, perfect from him.
He's been great.
Single-handedly stopped that aggression. Although the op shot might not land for 100 Thieves, 2-man disadvantage, pistols in play, and 1v1s across the map. I think all Nongshim need to do now is group up to close this round out. Although that group up does mean crossing Cryo, that there is a chance here.
He'd have to hit some nutty shots. No,
and he won't.
Not this time. We've seen plenty of them, and RB is just countering those ecoing players. Looking like another clean round up until Vora wins the fight versus Ivy. Of all the players you'd bank on so far, Ivy's probably the one you'd expect to hit that shot. He has been stellar as that solo player on the other side of the map, but this round is over for sure. And although the economy of 100 Thieves would allow for Vora to go for this, it's whether or not it's worth it. Giving orbs over to the other side could be a problem, but if he can pick up enough, cause some cost for Nongshim, maybe it's worthwhile.
Yeah, as we can see as well, X-Ross is waiting on the other side of the map, so if he did turn tail to just go and save, Death probably waited for him over there. But Nongshim, now we're looking a little bit better here. Starting to piece rounds together, starting to look a little bit more in control of this game. Remember, this is a 100 Thieves map pick though, and I suppose that's a good question to ask as we get towards the end of this half. Where is the goalpost for Nongshim? Is 4 enough already?
Well, if you're going based off how they play versus mates, yeah, they only needed 2. But no, I'd say if they can get 5, I think they're still in a pretty good spot. I think their defensive side aggression was really difficult to play against. It's clearly something 100 Thieves feel ready for, though. And that's what makes it difficult. Danby, aggression once again! And we'll see you later, Cryo. The thing is, this isn't even the push. This is the ruse, but sometimes the ruse can be enough all alone. Danby, with no help, no friends beside him, is a menace. And he's given his team full control. Sartuna, though, trying to get ahead of it. He gets dealt with. Timotino's found a response, but that response still sees them one behind.
That's the wraparound from RB.
Okay,
he's been spotted. I could have closed the round, but the swing from Ivy does just that. Timotino, an op trained on his position, and that will be a death sentence. Nongshim back up 5-5. The recovery most certainly on as the real fear here was that 100 Thieves would replicate that performance from the previous map. Nongshim's pick, but if we could go back in time, I think that would change. 100 Thieves were ready there, but seems like Nongshim found an extra gear on Lotus.
It seems like both teams have done that. Like, we've seen these sort of early starts and then both teams having that ability to completely reset. And I do think a lot of that just comes down to a couple of rounds from the likes of Danby, from the likes of Ivy. It really does feel like the 1-2 punch, but of 2 players that are playing opposite sides of the map. You have Danby just running around. Like, this round is literally him diving into the B side, coming out with 2 kills, and the rest of the team are just going, all right, we're going to hit C. You're your own entity. And then think back to some of the other rounds where you have this sort of aggressive push coming in, and Ivy's just holding the line. He's able to just be that almost turret-like player that just doesn't allow 100 Thieves that level of control. It's difficult when both of those players are playing fantastically well. That aggression that was initially working, think of Timotino finding those openers, finding that aggression. When that fails, is there another level to 100 Thieves? And well, that's probably what the pause is for, because they've lost 4 in a row now.
But there was on the previous map, you think about Bang hiding in the corner, the impact of Cryo, whether it be in the early fights or the late.
Been a bit quiet here.
Exactly. A complete change for 100 Thieves. Nongshim, Ivy as reliable as ever. Searching for that 6th round now, stun up close. Timotino just about makes it out, and the spam from Bang good enough to trade onto Danby. It's a solid start for 100 Thieves with the man advantage, but Bang being tagged low and the pressure still being put on means they've got to keep delivering. Timotino with the missed stun just bails. The fall back towards the site, space taken for Nongshim, numbers traded, and HB looking better for the attackers.
Yeah, they got aggressive in order to even up, and now Timotino goes back for more. Asuna alongside him.
Wall tripped.
Keeps things even in terms of numbers. Just look how much space has been taken. This is the problem I talked about. You have Ivy being able to give them the B site for free. TPing straight in, the pit now goes down, but it seems like they're still a little wary of some of that flank control. That's why the attacker yet to get that plant in, and Arsena's now found himself right within opposition ground.
That smoke's gonna fade soon. He walks through.
30 seconds
thinking
left.
maybe they'd left.
Smart from RB.
RB was sat waiting while Ivy covers up top. Comfortable plant can now be found. Francis has been a snake in the grass for a while, but he's wrapping back to the squad just in time. Cryo, we talked about his performance in the last map, and now a chance the judge, it seemed, would count him out. But that pick gives him a weapon with a smoke down as well. He can actually recover it, and he might need it because Bang, low on HP, low on luck, is being taken out. Look how far back that rifle went. He's managed to recover it. Managed to get it into his hands, but this a bridge too far for certain. Ivy.
Và đó là 6 năm dành cho Nongshim đây rồi.
Lead now Nongshims.
Wow, vô fan Sentino thế nhờ. Tôi cảm giác
tỷ số 4-1 mà lên 6 năm.
4-1 lên 6 năm á? Ai nhô, giọng à.
Một chán quá ra còn chán căng. Tôi thật sự rất vọng Nongshim.
There was no information for 100 Thieves at that point in their early start. Their 5-1 lead has diminished into nothing.
Cứu lại nền eSports Pacific rồi. Ở đây là một thi đấu mà 5 thành viên của Nongshim bắt đầu Rossi trả ra cái tường điện cao thế. Nami bắt đầu đi vào, bật lên ulti, xây, bắt đi mà Cryo. Đây Asuna thì đã bỏ về sau khi cái vườn farm thép gai rồi. Nami vẫn đang bị lát rồi. Asuna ở đây. Đam thì kê gần. Ôi Đam vẫn giết được thêm vào vạn của Asuna, có nên bao trùm trả ra. Đam chỉ một cái Đam quay hết. What the hell Đam what was that? Ở đây Bang double kill khi mà thẳng vào mồm với tổ Guardian thẳng vào mồm, nhưng mà chỉ có 18 nó cộng thêm 25 lát hồi sống tô Francis đây nhá ra nhưng bắn yếu rồi, vào là chết và Francis kết thúc đi mạng Bang. Đam vừa làm cái gì vậy trong khi anh ấy chỉ còn 5 máu mà thôi, vẫn là 4 mạng liên tiếp dành cho Đam. Ui Nongshim bị điên rồi. Tôi phải làm đơn xin lỗi Nongshim mà thôi khi họ bắn phát điên ở những thi đấu vừa rồi. Thực sự là điên đấy. Đây ui Dami 2, đây này, máu làm đôi, cái quái gì vừa xảy ra vậy? Ui chỉ thiên thẳng vào mồm. Ui Dami ơi, em đến từ hành tinh nào vậy?
So it's always easy on the ears.
Là gì đó vừa rồi 100T không thua Nongshim, 100T chỉ thua Dami mà thôi.
As we go along this week, we are going to be joined by incredibly special guests throughout this process. And it doesn't get more special than this. We are in the city of love, and 100 Thieves Bang has got some serious support out here. His mum Tina and Aunt Mary are loving this experience. Tina, what do you think of all of this?
This is just a blessing to be here. Paris is beautiful. The fans are amazing. We're rooting for 100 Thieves. So proud of Sean, and we know that they are going to win.
Oh, I love the confidence from Mama here. How is it feeling on your side, Mary? How has this experience been for you so far?
It has been so precious. It's such an honor to be here with all of you fans to support my nephew, Sean, and his teammates at 100 Thieves. It's amazing.
Brilliant. I'm just going to bring you forward just a touch. Listen, you guys have traveled a long way to come here to Paris. You're from Los Angeles. Yeah. You've come all the way from New York. what does it feel like to be watching esports in such a tremendous part of Europe?
This is just a dream come true, especially for a mom. I'm so emotional because I love these guys, love Sean and this team, and everyone at 100 Thieves. Thank you, boys. You're killing it.
And they can win?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you know that he was going to be doing this when he was a little kid, just briefly?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, you can watch some more of him. This is amazing. Give it up for Mary and Tina. We get right back into the game.
Make no mistake, those cheers are also for Ian Chambers. We love to see him doing his thing down in that arena, and we also love to see the players doing just the same. It has been a big bounce back from Nongshim, who seemed determined to bring us to a map 3. It's a semi-final. You never want to see them go by quickly, unless you get a game tomorrow, I suppose, which is true for one of these teams. 100 Thieves trailing by 2. They want that quick success. It's going to have to be a strong start to the attack side.
Không phải là gọi là một đội hình mạnh về công mà chỉ là một đội mạnh về control bản đồ.
But the fact is, everybody wants a chance to take the title here at EWC, and of course, the team that did it last time already out, already crushed. That's another thing, you don't want to watch
Năm thành viên
crush
của
your name.
trong T bắt đầu bò dần vào khu vực tree rồi, chắc chắn là vào xe A thôi. Sẽ là một thi đấu 5v5. Hay lúc này mắt thì trả vào kia hết backside, team bò lên tế được con chó. Xlot nhảy ra, Xlot e về ngay đến từ vị trí của các vị trí của Timotino. Ra bắn đi. Xlot ngồi bạn lát rồi. Ui, ở đây thì Nongshim Dami fan sẽ lần lên tiếng và đó sẽ là lục tới cho Nongshim mà thôi. 8 năm rồi cho Nongshim.
This is the difficult thing when facing this squad. It feels like you can start putting narratives on the table about like what side of the map they're good on, or maybe their pistol ratio and how things have been going so far. And when they have momentum, it all becomes irrelevant. Like, that's what this team has in droves. They just believe that they can run over opposition. And honestly, with 7 rounds in a row now, my gaze is going to look towards 100 Thieves of when can you stop them?
Đây sẽ là một giao thi đấu không nhiều số mà thôi, tôi mong là như vậy. Được đưa trận đấu này đến map thi đấu thứ 3. Tôi đã bảo rồi. Tay của Nongshim là khá to nhưng mà hạn cái tôi lại. Dami ở dùng khẩu ma sổ ra, kèm thuê được 2 mạng. Ở đây thì có một mình. Ui, Francis dùng viên xe rít thẳng vào đầu.
Say that back into play for this squad. Yes, sir. Like you said, for 100 Thieves, the question is, can they stop them now? Can they slow them? We knew that Nongshim looked like a completely different team on the last map. Deactivated everything that worked for them before, stopped working for them over there. A lot of that I would put down to the composition that was in play. But now, everything that was there is back. Ivy's having the game, or more so, the tournament that he was. Dambi is doing Dambi things. But 100 Thieves are buying rifles. This is their line in the sand, their moment to stop Nongshim before it spirals out of control.
It's worth noting versus mates.
Đó chỉ là một pha chiếm A cơ bản khi mà thi đấu mang lông tớt này mà thôi. Dụng yếu nhưng mà các thành viên của 100T đang thể giá lại khi đang kia lại về tiền. Ở đây thì Atman đang kia lại B, còn Ryo phát nặng ra và phá tài chết tới Dami rồi, vậy có thể đổi đôi 33 và vào bạn lo rồi lợi thế người lại về cho 100T ra đem vẫn là 23.
But they still have no idea where Ivy is.
Có vào B thì sẽ lộ bình thường, nghe tiếng rồi và các thành viên của Nongshim bắt đầu bò dần về bên rồi, mắt quỷ được trả ra kia ở khu vực B-Link.
Whatsoever, the B side still the target. The snake bite will get them in.
Nó chỉ một tiếng bẫy đâu.
30 seconds left.
2 thành viên của Nongshim, có 1 thành viên vô ra đang nhiều máu. Để bẫy được hết.
Golden played it. Mike in the corner. No, it's a quick swing in from Timotino. If he was slightly slower to react, there would have been some real danger there, but it's a formality to close out for 100 Thieves, a necessary win.
Đó là 3-6. Sẽ là 4 round thi đấu liên tiếp chiến thắng của Nongsi mà thôi. Các bạn tin tôi đi, trận đấu này được dàn xếp hết cả rồi. Bạn đang nắm trên tay tôi. Những người may mắn trên được stream này sẽ biết tỷ số trận này sẽ là 13-6. Ở đây Nami định lên cho mình một số ốp rồi, Operator. Ui, nhưng mà AB đã làm gì mà bị Patio ở xe A kia cho con người ta tư máu. Chắc chắn sẽ là có chó trích mà thôi. Xem độ lính của Nami được như nào. Smoke trả ra chó để kia lại Kima. Nami vẫn kê cho mình một khẩu ốp. AB được hồi phục lại một lượng máu. Còn từ đây Nami vẫn đang kê cho mình một khẩu ốp. Chó bắt đầu lộ rồi nhưng mà không kịp bắn. Chấm T vẫn chưa kịp bay vào side C. Hồi bắt đầu phá ngốt đến từ vị trí của Nami. Biết được cái tường đến từ vị trí của Timotino. Ôi nhưng mà cái tường này tường hở đi, Ivy giặt ra. Wow, chí mạng đến từ Ivy. Tường thiết kế. Thiết kế không, cố tình là thế. Để nếu mà có người mà nhá cái tường kiểu thế thì nó giặt ra bắn luôn ấy. Cố tình. Ôi nhưng mà ở đây Cryo bắt được mạng X-Roll rồi. Tình huống trở thành 44. Francis ở đây thì bắt được Cryo trong side. Tình huống lại trở thành 43. Lợi thế hơn người vẫn là trong các vị trí của Nongsi ở đây. Francis. Ui, cái choáng của Nami trả ra là quá đẹp. Có ai phát hiện ra bảng ở góc này hay không? Tôi thấy góc này các thành viên anh ui bang Uzi bắn súng mà không ai kết thúc định mạng của bang. 16 dành cho Nongsi.
Chỉ còn 3 round nữa thôi là chúng ta sẽ tới map 3. Mọi người hãy cùng nhau lên phím Nongsi giúp tôi với.
Seemingly on the horizon. As there is no brakes on the Nongshim train.
That's a really nasty pickup by Ivy, especially. Like, if Timotino's still alive in this fight, considering he's been the one looking for those deeper challenges, there's more pressure onto someone like Dambi. There's more bodies there.
Rồi tôi đã thấy được một
They needed it.
cổ động viên đầu tiên.
The important pickups found by Ivy.
Đấy, chắc chắn tỷ trận này sẽ không biến số 11-6 dành cho Nongsi mà thôi. Tôi đã bảo rồi, 13-6 kết quả cuối cùng. Trận này được kịch bản hết mà rồi. Nếu mà đúng tỷ số thì hãy cắt ta và đăng up shot.
These kind of rounds have been big money-making opportunities for Nongshim as well. They've been pretty clean. You have to hope for 100 Thieves that they can at least draw blood.
Đúng được không đây?
Những người may mắn nói lại lần nữa, những người may mắn xem livestream này biết tỷ số trận này là 13-6. Xong giờ mình sẽ lại nói các tỷ số khác không? Ở đây thì X-Rock đã đi được Asuna rồi. Ui, làm chậm trả ra. Cái gì đây? Ra đi đâu có biến số cơ mà. Từ phát hiện đây. Ui, trả ra là tinh linh dò đường. Ở đây thì Dami bắt đi được một mạng rồi nhưng mà bị bắn yếu bởi Cryo. Hai thành viên yếu máu đến từ các thành viên U. Francis ở đây
có thể thắng ra nhưng mà hàng xa đã trả ra cơ hội thắng chưa chắc đã nằm ở phía của bên Nongshim đâu. Nhưng slide shot
gì đây Nami ơi, thực sự là thi đấu cá nhân đây, đợi nhau thì sao. Nhưng mà Cryo ở đây thì cũng qua được ở vị trí của ấy rồi. Đây từ từ nhá.
Spam là cảm giác đấy thì Ivy.
Trước khi đá bom không sao. Dami ơi, em làm quá hay rồi, và ngăn cản đá bom là quá hay. Thành mình đã khá cao pha đấy.
There is a chance. I have to believe it. I have to believe that, or I'm gonna have to accuse him of wall hacking.
Nhưng mà chỉ đây một round eco thôi.
Because that was a little bit crazy. I don't know if we'll even see it in
Quan
the
trọng không?
replay.
Quan trọng là gì? Quan trọng là chiến thắng. Năm ra thi đấu thì lượng tiền vẫn là đủ đầy giữa các thành viên của Nongshim mà thôi. Họ cần là chiến thắng. Gì đâu này quen nhỉ?
Again, though, I think you're up against Ivy at the last second. It's the last man you want to see. Sean Damby might have the craziest, and the fact that he tried to dive through that pit alone is a little bit manic.
I'm telling you, in my head I was begging him not to, but the second you could see him tapped it once, immediately put his gun up because he was like, I know that crazy little guy's going to come in. I know he's going to do it. And eventually he thinks, oh, I guess he's not. Nope, right in at the last second. He's a madman. And I think that is something that for 100 Thieves, like they've come into today very ready for it. Because it's one thing to go, oh, he's going to push you all the time. But then there comes this point where, again, I look back at Sunset, there's 30 seconds left on the clock. They're sitting in mid still. And someone's surely going, I don't think it's too late. He's not going to push. And the right call there is, no, he is. No, he is. They're coming. And eventually the push comes in.
It's when.
Yes, exactly.
And it could be at any point of any moment of any second of any round.
Một bài đẩy đây rồi, một phát trả ra cho Arsenal làm đôi. Nhưng mà Dambi ở đây thì đổi ngay được mạng của Arsenal rồi thì cũng trở thành 3-4 và tất nhiên là các thành viên của bên 100 sẽ chạy thẳng vào A mà thôi, khi mà A ở đây là A clear. Rồi, bay vào A clear. Thôi thì những ai xem được livestream này thì sẽ biết trận đấu này sẽ có tỷ số là 13-7.
This is a very good opportunity now for 100 Thieves.
One slip up though, and Dambi will pull that advantage back into neutral territory instead. It's Cryo showing he's still got the opping chops to take down Dambi. And a 4v2 for Nongshim. Plenty of runway for this squad, but a save seems like the right call. You know Cryo sat there with an operator as well. You're probably losing the first one who breaks through that wall, and then the credits really start to run dry. Yeah, you can take an eco. You can take 2 in a row if you want. Really build up some cash. There is a lot of rounds for 100 Thieves to catch up on, a lot of ground to make up. That's a very successful start to what needs to be a comeback.
Yeah, good hold off the early aggression. It's the same thing we needed to see in terms of the reaction to the last map. I think especially after a pause, you can kind of understand why Nongshim would do that. You go, okay, they've taken a pause. Whatever they've planned, let's try and disrupt them. But the dodge of the flash, 2 quick shots, and even though he falls, it leaves so much space available to 100 Thieves to fill in, get in the post, and then have quite a lot prepared. And the fact is, they didn't use the ultimates in the last round, so they have them to play with in this one.
A few tags up for Cryo early on. You hope he get his reward with a late push up, but there's an operator stalemate that I think is about to come to a head. Cryo peeking through the wall will block Dambi off. And Dambi just sits and waits. While that stalemate's playing out, you can see that 100 Thieves are starting to scrap towards the C site. To get peeks out on the A side by pressuring the other side. But that peek never comes through. Dambi, the most aggressive player that I think I've ever seen in the game, has sat in a corner for the last minute, staring at this angle, waiting for somebody to come stepping forward. And even as this wall goes up and down, this man refuses to move. He is waiting for a reward that he knows is on the way.
Gotta be careful though.
But now he's in a bit of pressure, a bit of trouble surrounded like this.
Another angle. I don't know how Francis isn't aware of that. It was very clearly documented by Dambi.
Ui, Dambi trượt viên nốt mất rồi, Stan được trả ra, ulti vào. Chịu Asuna.
Asuna ở đây cống cho team Nongshim một cái tên lửa đạn đạo, nhưng mà tên lửa đạn đạo này có làm gì? Ui mà Xbox bắt được. Xbox được Pyro rồi.
Thấy được cái chỏng đầu rồi.
Nó là nào anh?
Ui, Dambi hay quá. Flash shot đấy chất lượng của Dambi. Ôi, sớm bốc phở.
Hàng chứa ở đây. Anh mà vẫn còn cố trên tay Pyro đặt ra có
đó là 12-7. Cơ hội chiến thắng đang là rất gần rồi. Nếu chỉ có một round thắng nữa thôi thì lời tiên tri của anh
chưa từ lên tôi vẫn chưa thấy áo của đội tuyển Nongshim, chỉ thấy áo các đội tuyển khác. Nào thì trên tùng mết, nào thì Cloud9, nào thì Sentinel.
underneath its combined weight from 100 Thieves, but
anh Trung biết điều đó làm tôi gợi nhớ đến cái hình ảnh nào
they
không?
come back fighting
Khi mà anh CR7
into
thua
every
thì
single
fan
fight
của
there,
Recon
every
sẽ cổ vũ cho những đội
duel
còn lại
taken.
đối đầu với cả Messi. Tôi nghĩ nó
It's taken
chính
with
là Messi của
confidence.
VALORANT.
A big difference in that previous map, a huge turnaround,
rồi.
and indeed a scoreline that's almost a
Đây sẽ là match point
polar opposite of the previous. 12-7, 5 chances to close this out, and I think Haven is owed between these two teams. I feel like both have had their time in the limelight in this series, but
đây sẽ là biến số.
we want to see both Titans standing tall at the same time.
I want that Phoenix battle. I'll be brutally honest with you. That's what I've been most excited for today. We've dodged it so far.
Bốc trồng smoke thực sự khói mờ như này. Tất cả mọi người đang mò qua
RB ở đây bắt được đi một mạng Asuna rồi. Ui ở đây thì IV làm được mạng của Timo Fan sẽ mang Fan sẽ bắt được thêm mạng Mora. Bình tĩnh trở thành 3-1 mà tôi đã nói rồi, nhưng ai xem stream này sẽ biết tỷ số là 10-3.
Chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau tiến tới map 3 trong vài phút nghỉ giải lao tiếp theo. Oh my god, thật sự là hit mấy bình oxy rồi.
Lại rất yếu rồi. Đã ra chết kịch bản này, tôi đã bỏ rồi. Maxi sẽ là nhà vô địch của EWC. Hay nhớ lời này.
Quá hoàn hảo. Có thể vượt lách.
Thực sự thì sau khi đã tìm được lối bắn, thực ra hồi xưa thì là bắn bên Maxi khỏe là mọi người cứ đổ do con Neon, nhưng mà thực ra không phải. Neon là do thiếu nói cái gì quên mẹ rồi. Rồi cắt lại đi. Tôi nói cả stream có mỗi một người xem như là tao.
Chuẩn rồi.
They still get the job done, 13-7.
Look, I hate not having Viper, but I love the vibes more from the Nongshim team. I said, look, they got plot armor. They're here to stay at EWC. They won't be going home, and I'm happy to see that win.
So, all of us back on over here, but also joining us is Emil, former EMEA winning coach with Team Liquid, and more importantly, to this
khả năng là tôi thì
of Doom Bros,
xem những map của tôi cảm xúc rồi. Khả năng là flip rồi.
Watching your brother's squad.
Tớ bị tắm nha, em Long cứ bình luận đi vào tiếp.
Ok.
Đấy tiếp đi.
I'm so nervous. You have no idea. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm sitting there praying, doing everything I can just to have some sort of edge against Nongshim. It's crazy.
Obviously, there's a small connection here because big times, brother. Also, coaches over at Foot, you guys sharing those types of nerves.
I've been there. I know the feeling. It's a horrible.
It is really.
Do you find it? Because obviously you were a coach for a very long time. You're very successful. Do you find it hard not to sort of backseat coach a little bit when you're sat here in the crowds and you go, guys, why are we playing this comp? Guys, oh no, we're doing this wrong. I'll have to text him. You know.
It's literally what I'm doing here. I'm sitting in the crowd. I'm like, I'm looking. Oh, this is wrong. Maybe I can text him. I can grab my phone and like text him. Maybe I can see he has a phone on stage. I don't know. But it's literally, I'm thinking, if I could just hand him a note, like what would I write? What would I do? You know? It's crazy.
Let's dive into this one, 13-7 for Nongshim. A lot of it on the back of Ivy here.
Yeah, Ivy had a phenomenal game. I mean, the way that he was playing was kind of insane. And of course, actually taking a pistol away from 100 Thieves, finally.
Makes a change.
Absolutely. And for Nongshim, they're going to be happy with this one. The way that they were playing, how decisive they were too. It looked really nice. And for me, it just felt completely different. The second that Danby got a hold of the op, it felt like everything just fell into place.
But for me, the more I watch Ivy, the more impressed I am. This guy is a textbook big game player in my mind. It feels like every time Nongshim need a hero, Ivy appears. I love this round especially because they know how they're defaulting to break that wall there. He leaves the gap, slips through and finds the pick as he's exiting. That's just, it's great adaptation, great high-level play. I love watching this guy.
I think the way that he uses his timings are really good. But what do you think? Tell me.
I think this ultimate, where it was a 1-on-1 and he shot him through the Viper ult, he used the crowd noise, surely.
Yeah.
He used the crowd to see where he was and shot him from the ult. No?
I mean, we saw it from a couple different replays, right? Because we saw it both. They gave us the vision through the smoke, and then they showed it again just from his POV, and he must have thought,
why did he shoot? You know, why did he shoot?
Maybe he's around here, the last location.
Come on.
I know. It was a crazy thing. What else jumped out at you, Emil, from that last round, especially from the 100 Thieves side, since that was the side you're looking at a little bit more closely?
I mean, for me, it was, the start was really good.
Yeah.
But then after the timeout, they kind of like fizzled out a little bit. It felt like Nongshim put a lot of pressure, a lot of tempo, and always catch someone off guard. And then 100 Thieves kind of just didn't want to take the fights. It felt like we're playing scared, we're playing, you know, not together, not taking the fights, and for me, that's just something you can't do against Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, so I want to just take you back to your old school coaching days. If you're in the booth back there with your brother on 100 Thieves, how are you fixing this problem? What are you saying to them?
Turn off your brain. Just shoot together. Just don't overcomplicate. Don't die the first 10 seconds of the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
Let's turn our focus over to map number 3, Haven here for the squad. We didn't expect to necessarily be here, given the fact that you could see on the pick side, it was Nongshim's pick that 100 Thieves stole away, and then Nongshim steal away 100 Thieves pick that forces to Haven as our decider.
It feels like this has been happening a little too many times for my comfort, but I was really feeling the 100 Thieves win getting into Lotus. I think comps-wise, I was liking it. I think the way that they were playing, the momentum, but obviously Nongshim just picking it back up. And then we're moving on to that Haven. I think Haven's going to be a really interesting map here because both these teams, they've played this pretty often. They know how to play. The defaults are there for both of them. I'm kind of looking at Dambi and Timotino once again. Dambi, once he picked up that op in that last map, was doing phenomenally.
Yeah.
Timotino, he was kind of quiet on the waylay.
Yeah, I think that will be a high-powered map 3.
Yeah.
I want to cast your mind back to when we last saw Nongshim play in the decider game there against G2, and they have that fantastic attacker half. Yes, it slips away from them. Yes, it gets a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But this squad knows how to play the map. I think especially they elected to pick that attacker side for a reason.
Yeah.
They're going to look to run up the numbers here.
Emil, final thoughts?
I think Haven's really good map. Doomros and NBS really good coaches on Haven as well.
Yeah.
So
A little bit biased there.
no, not at all. I'm not biased at all. Obviously, I think 100 Thieves are gonna win. So yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into that final map, Puckett is standing by right now with some Vitality fans here in Paris.
EWC floor, and as you can see, there is a line wrapping around the booth as everybody's waiting to see Vitality. Sir, who do you want an autograph from today?
Every team. I prefer Turkey for the best culture with perfect.
I love that call. We're going to get that for you. We've got some Gentlemates jerseys. I've got a Cloud9 jersey. Young man, what are you doing at the Vitality booth?
I'm a super fan, but I'm looking to meet some of the players over here. I'm very excited.
And who do you guys want to meet today? Who are you most excited to get an autograph from?
Honestly, Dirk or Chronicle.
Yeah, Sayonara.
Sayonara? Why Sayonara?
Because he's young and he's so talented.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
Are you ready to go pro when you turn 18 like Sayonara?
Like, I'm Ascendant, but I need to get right to Regents.
Okay, we got to keep rolling down the line. As you can see, the fans are from all over the world. We got Americans here, a lot of folks from Paris and all over France. And then, of course, we've got some of our Chinese fans. But up front, we got to show the people here. Are you guys hands cramping it? How are we feeling, Yinsu?
How am I feeling?
We doing autographs too?
You know the meme that's like, bro thinks she's on the team. Yeah.
She's on the team today. We feeling good?
Hello, bro.
Yeah, and then Chronicle, you two seem to be the most famous. Sayonara. Yeah, why are you winning over so many fans?
Team, bro.
I think because you were 18. They all want to be you. Who's the oldest on the team? Yampy, how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Do your hands cramp when you sign autographs yet?
Yeah, for sure. I hope it's gonna be over soon, because I can't take it much longer anymore, so.
You guys put on a hell of a show for all of the fans. Anything you want to say to all the Vitality supporters who are here to get your autograph today?
I mean, thank you for coming. I wish we would be on the stage rather than being here, but, you know, it's still nice to see people coming to see us, so thank you very much.
Vitality's knocked out, but they're still hanging with the fans. Come see them here in the Vitality booth.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
안녕하세요. 농심 레드포스 발로란트 팀입니다. 오늘 유언 목소리 나오는 거 한 맞춰보는 컨텐츠 해볼 건데 한번 맞춰보겠습니다.
Wait, I have a rock in my shoe.
누구세요?
나 알 것 같아.
누구세요?
오케이.
뭐야?
뭐야, 다 달라? 킬조이지. 야, 뭐야, 5명 다 달라. 레이즈인데? 레이즈 아니야?
너 뭐야?
킬조이.
클로브 같은데?
우와.
그걸 몰라?
이게 클로브라고?
오케이, JJ야.
Oh, there's only 5 of them? Kjedelig.
오케이. 난 준비됐어. 이건 거 같은데? 난 모르겠는데. 나도 모르겠는데.
몰라, 이거겠지.
킬조이 왜 이렇게 좋아해?
아니, 그 5 of them 했잖아, 5 of them.
아니.
아니, 나 되도록 하면서 저런 말을 들어본 적이 없어.
한국어밖에 안 되는데 어떻게 알겠어, 이거. 목소리만 맞추는 거 같은데.
목소리도 못 맞추겠어.
역해가 너무 많네. 해외 버전 해야겠네, 이거.
Who builds a neoclassical mansion in the middle of an ocean? Obnoxious.
오케이.
오케이.
이거는
마지막 거 듣고 알았다. 몰라. 난 그냥 감으로 해. 난 감으로 하길 선택했어. 감으로 적어. 이거잖아, 말이 안 마지막 목소리가 딱 그거였네.
정말. 나 모르겠냐, 왜?
근데 나도 솔직히 적어놔서 모르겠어. 너 뭐 했어?
화보야?
화보 아니야? Let's go. 뭐야? 화보인가? Let's go.
Let's go.
내가 화보 해놓고 몰랐다. 잘 맞추네.
Nosy weirdo.
역해가 뭐 있지? 발로란트?
어디서 들어봤는데? 아니, 이게 되도록 목소리 같은데.
되도록 이미 나왔잖아. 그렇게는. 고민되네.
나 일편단심. 킬조이 아니면 누나 하야. 나 킬조이 아니면
킬조이 같은데. 킬조이 맞네. 네온이야?
아니, 니가 모른다고?
안돼. 그래, 네온 목소리.
야, 나는 킬조이 3번 연습했는데 한 번도 안 Really?
Out of my way.
이거는 스펠링 틀리면 탈락하기로 하자.
나 한국어로 적었는데?
상관없을 것. 아니면 레전.
공짜 모를 수가 없다.
공짜 점수.
나이자.
Smells like victory and gunpowder.
둘 중에 하나인데. 나 알려줄까.
나 챔프가 뭐 있는지도 까먹었어, 지금.
레이저였네.
아니, 뭐야, 나 그냥 찍었는데.
어쩐지 나 레이저 할까 킬조 할까 생각했는데 그냥 킬조 할 거야. 레이저
나 그냥 찍었는데.
Be at peace, my friend.
이거는 모를 수가 없다.
이거는
진짜 모를 수가 없다.
이걸 몰라.
모를 수가 없어, 이거.
아니 지금
야, 이거 진짜 이거 해봤으면.
체인버 뭐야?
체인버야? 와, 이걸 써봐?
근데
야, 그냥 발음부터 러시아 사람이잖아. 진짜.
Seems like I'm the better one.
네, 성현이 나 그냥 눈치로 보겠어. 오케이.
어떻게 알았어?
솔직히 잘 모른다.
봐요.
그냥 너가 했던 걸 기억했어 난. 자, 너 뭐 했어? 너 체인버 했어?
체인버잖아요.
체인버라고?
응.
뭐야? 배웠네?
뭐야, 얘네 아는 척 뭐야?
와, 꺼드럭대더니 막.
야, 이게 체인버가 아니라고? 말이 안 되네.
근데 체인버는 좀 더 목소리가 굵어. 어쩐지 익숙하다 했어. 오늘 이렇게 유언별 목소리 맞추기를 컨텐츠를 진행했는데 좀 많이 재밌었던 것 같고요. 이상 농심 레드포스 발로란트 팀이었습니다. 안녕.
안녕.
It's a nice drop from Starso. I don't know if he has time for this one though, Kev. It's going to be very close. Oh, that is unbelievable. Also,
Welcome back to the Esports World Cup 2026 Valorant semifinals. We are on map number 3, and before we throw it to Tom and Mitch, we got ourselves Agent Select. Welcome back, Digon here alongside Big Time Athena and former head coach and champion of EMEA, Emil, who's definitely not biased at all for his brother's team, Doom Bros' team, 100 Thieves. He's going to break down Agent Select with us.
That's kind of crazy that you're throwing him under.
I'm just saying. Hey, look.
Wow.
Big Time is by himself here, so I just needed to make sure
look,
that we all knew what's what.
Yeah, that's true.
I can stave off all the bias in the world. I'm feeling fantastic for Nongshim. What do you mean? They're riding so high after the last map. They stole away their opponent's map pick, moving across the Haven. Whether I know it's gonna be electric. Maybe they got Danby. We know. How are you gonna stop them if you're 100 Thieves? You just can't.
How dare you say Nongshim is good? Let's go 100 Thieves. Come on. No bias here. No bias.
No bias.
No, I hope they pick something good for Haven here. Something classic. Something that I know what they're gonna do here.
Old school, a little bit of Breach. Is that what you want to see? Back from your day?
I would love a Breach.
I hate Breach.
It doesn't look like we've got it coming out from Nongshim. This is the double duelist that they are so well known for. Danby on the Neon, X-Ross on that Phoenix. Now, just cast your mind back. That G2 game, the attacker side was insanely dominant there, really running up the numbers. So for me, the pressure is on 100 Thieves to counter with what looks to be a mirror comp here.
Yeah, but 100 Thieves, they both beat MIBR and BBL in EWC so far. BBL, obviously one of our teams, making it all the way through to semifinals. And here, both these teams, the copycat matchup, but I think it's really on Asuna and Timotino here if I'm looking on the side of 100 Thieves. It feels like I've been saying that all series long. We saw Cryo have a really good first game. That second game looks like they were struggling just quite a bit, but now these two, they've proven themselves as those duelists, getting a lot of those opening picks and just being enabled across the map.
Emil, if you had to pick one player that needs to step up in the server right now, who would it be?
I would say Asuna. I think Asuna's Phoenix and him having impact here is gonna be the key for them to win.
Asuna's Phoenix, X-Ross's Phoenix. It's going to be a huge matchup, mirror match in terms of the agents, but only one will be able to look themselves in the mirror knowing they are going to the grand finals. Always looking good in the mirror are our casters for map number 3. It's Mitch, man, and Tom.
It's always fun to see both Doom Bros on the broadcast. A deadly duo in everything except for a show match. Now it's time to see if one of those Doom Bros who's going to be going all the way to the grand final for 100 Thieves and Nongshim. Everything is the same map, the same composition. The only difference is the players on the server.
Yeah, I think we come into this and now the sort of gaze switch towards 100 Thieves. Can they pick themselves up after that defeat on their map choice? Timotino having a bit of a rougher time. A shutdown after what was a stellar first map. And then for the other side, Nongshim, can they keep that pacing up? Already, though, the defensive side not shying away from a fight, but maybe they should have done. Ivy's reign of terror was something to behold on the previous map. Timotino has been excellent in these pistol rounds. Still 3 of the 4 have gone the way of 100 Thieves. Will they turn this back to their 4?
Cage triggered. Well, they start with a disadvantage, but not for long. Cryo bringing us back to even, but the spams and the smoke is deadly both ways. The wrap-up from Timotino could be the difference maker, though. He has a backstab guaranteed. Ivy looking the other way on the walk up middle. It all depends on when Timotino strikes as the drone goes out. There's 2 players spotted in utility. A stun through. Timotino wasting no time. But Francis, stunned up with his gun up, finds himself a kill and Nongshim the advantage.
Stuns are cosmetic. That's why everybody hates the breach now. They didn't realize you could just hit the shot. Anyway, bang though, spots players and gets 2. He's given his teammate a wonderful chance. The Sova versus Sova, the doppelganger, one has to fall. Francis trying to bait the idea that he's on this side, but he is walking towards A. Timing just about gets around the corner. But Vora now is going to almost have to just keep his position hidden. Francis won't be aware of how close his opponent currently is and looks to reset the battle, looks to get towards short, hunt for where his opponent went. A game of cat and mouse with neither side really giving the game away of who is the cat, who is the mouse, who is the hunter, who is the hunted. As that defuse gets to halfway, VALORANT now gives himself a little bit of extra time, but he is being flanked on. He turns, and it's Francis. Francis is the one to win the fight. The hunter takes the first round.
Now VALORANT got sight on him first. Francis played that one blind, played it off instinct. But it was enough for Nongshim, and this was the most impressive of all. How he survives there. It doesn't just bring it to the man advantage for Nongshim, it keeps the spike under their control, under his control. And that's exactly what this pistol round was. A 1-0 start for Nongshim, and an eco for 100 Thieves to follow. And this really does feel like a true decider, a true middle ground of these squads. These compositions, I think, where both have shined the brightest. And I'd have to agree with what was said over on the desk by our wonderful Emil. If there's a player to step up here, if there's a player we expect to see hit another level, it is Asuna, and he has to. We know that X-Ross delivers almost every time he's on this agent.
Yeah, and well, even if he doesn't, the depth of talent that they have is just absurd. Danby's about to walk into the stack. Funnily enough, even though it's a stack, I still sit there and wonder how many players does he get? 1, 2 already. Bear in mind, he's completely alone and no one else is here. You think maybe he's walked into a trap, but the fact is, they were locked in with him. You surround a beast. And well, maybe, just maybe, there's an ounce of fear, but not for Danby. Timotino now looks to try and do the same, but he doesn't have the weaponry to replicate that sort of magic, and they're looking to try and kill him off and keep this round clean. He wanted to not go down to X-Ross, but in the end, he falls to the man he didn't want to give the orb.
And that puts X-Ross up to the ultimate. The run it back online coming into round number 3, the bonus round. You know, you stack a site like this, thinking that if the whole team pushes, you'll have enough there to deal with at least a few of them to make it costly. Well, they sent only one man with a sniper rifle into a pit of snakes, and he came out with the anti-venom. Crazy performance from Danby. As we said, the run it back for X-Ross available, and he is wasting no time. It's already activated, and it's used for the plant.
Yeah, he's just going to get them into a post-plant scenario, just about. We'll be able to get rid of it. Now, counter spam can come from Bora. A chance to maybe bait them in with a tap onto that plant. But it's definitely easier said than done. Bear in mind, this is a lower purchase for Nongshim. If you're a 100 Thieves fan, they can't afford to get away with this round, but already it's looking pretty good. 2 quick kills. That Odin already deleted, and the remaining 2, they don't know they're being backstabbed. Danby did not stop pushing. He never stopped pushing. It's left to bang, a nice double, but there is 3 for Danby. And a round close, a bonus converted.
I love the idea from Nongshim to start this out with just the ult used from the Phoenix for a plant. He was looking for nothing else. No deep control, no fight. And the normal response when you hear that ult activated is to fall back, is to give the space. They know that, so rather than hunt deep for a kill, they take the advantage that's being given to them. And as you said, Danby's continued push, it was only meant to be a safety net. They almost needed to fall on it with Bang finding that triple, but the time at that point was already applying enough pressure. 3-0 start, and now a very low buy from 100 Thieves.
You mentioned earlier on that if you have a stack, you send one man into it, and he gets 4 kills. You're hoping maybe you can catch everyone, but instead you just get 1. Sometimes this man feels like a team. We have seen this multiple times where he goes into a site alone and comes out with an advantage for his squad. This time though, he has been shut down. A lot of damage being done. Bang again. He's already had a few kills stacking up, but even with what they've built, it's going to be difficult. Oh man, that we were hoping to step up ends up maybe having his worst whiff of the tournament so far. even still, both players low enough. The Cryo at least has some hope.
Well, a shot to the body will be enough. The drone, it didn't see him. No, they haven't caught him just yet. One shot to the body enough, but it's the headshot onto Francis! And the follow-through on RB! It looked like a whiff might have thrown their chances out the window. But Cryo is there to put them 3-1. A man who had an incredible performance on Sunset. He was the man who was shutting this squad down, indeed, on the Cypher, doing the damage, and he's here to do it yet again in a round that really 100 Thieves looked to have no hope in.
Yeah, they started well. Well, that's a very stressed look at MBS. We've said it already that these are two very different looking teams. A team that in the past won Ascension and made it all the way to win a Masters. And sure, a couple of teams that were, or players that were gunning for Ascension last year over on 100 Thieves. But their investment over the years has been clear. Their success has not. Nongshim managed to do it incredibly quickly through their rise. Is this going to be the day for 100 Thieves to make it to a grand final? Or will Nongshim be turning 2026 into their year?
They've traded drones out on B. Nongshim putting that in from window. I don't think they were worried about the mid take, but I guess just showing some presence after 100 Thieves did the same. The defensive side, that's the first piece of actual info they've had to work with in a minute. I've seen one player towards A-Long.
They're not shying away. In fact, they've heard the operator ring out bullets, and they want to try and challenge it. Still quite a lot of Cypher utility, but that first trip, I don't believe has been caught. Instead, a problem. Bora finds the first. They managed to deny the ult, and again, Danby just looks to take over. Still a player in the corner, but even though Cryo might be in the dark, he just about survives. The spams trade back evenly. Cryo still incredibly low, but they haven't found him, and he's dropped the spike. A low HP X-Ross, but he'll catch him with the jump. That's going to be an opportunity to get the plant down. His opponent a little bit further away, and nothing that Bang can do to stop him, but there's only 10 HP. An ultimate for X-Ross. If he can get around the corner, he might be able to pop it. Instead, he swings. But Bang had such an HP advantage that he's able to close that out.
Yeah, it's a bad corner to be stuck in with that Phoenix ult. Like, you pop the ult, you swing out. Sure, it's going to reset your health right away when you die, but the spam is going to come through quite quickly. And in most positions, you're not going to get anything from there. But the straight swing out, as you saw, the bullets past Bang's head, but the shot not quite landing. That looked crazy, though. Seeing Francis just run it down with the spike short in the 2v2.
Yeah.
They obviously really wanted to deal with that player, but that was a hiccup that gave 100 Thieves a chance.
Well, yeah, it looked like they've already done enough. It seemed like they're not shying away from this fight. Pop flash ready, but Arsenal maybe thinking better of it. There's the pop, but no reaction off of it. Maybe hoping to hear some spam that might give them a little bit of information. Instead, now comes the ult.
Oh, it's close, but it's only damage. At least the start as X-Ross goes down. Danby follows. Numbers kept even. The drop down from RB heard, and it's Bang to pounce on him. But the team being taken, it gives Nongshim back the advantage, the upper hand reclaimed. The run it back was already used up early on. X-Ross is back to full HP, nice and healthy. Francis not quite in the same boat, and they called to just freeze. Wait for 100 Thieves to run dry on information, to make a gamble, maybe flee the site, or maybe stand in no man's land. That ultimate from Ivy now will find Cryo. They'll have the information to work with, and the spike is already running the other way.
I think if you're anyone else, if it's any other team, I think Cryo starts running the other way. But he probably believed in that moment, actually, they're going to try and kill me. They're going to try and kill me. They're not going to let me flee the scene and reset this fight. With Ivy throwing those cages, it held him to the other side of the map. I think the call's also been made that our economy cannot cope with a 1v3 attempt on the 100 Thieves side. 4-2 scoreline will be guaranteed for Nongshim. And Cryo, all he can hope to do is hold on to the gun.
There's some decent ideas starting this out from 100 Thieves. The idea of the flash, it looked strange in the moment to see Asuna step back into the smoke and fire a flash out onto long. But at the exact same moment, a reveal came through from Vora. The idea, obviously, blind them up, buy yourself a half a second, but just enough for the first ping to get the information. But it was broken immediately by Nongshim. And so 100 Thieves knew, okay, there's players here, the rotates start. They're batting down the hatches, they deal with X-Ross on the run through. They contain that mid-fight as well. The chaos of the late round. Not managed well. It was this push through from Danby. The fact that, again, he finds so much value with Asuna down and out. RB traded. But this TP, or the TP that was taken moments later from Bang. The old pop by Ivy, the information found. It definitely looked for 100 Thieves like they had the upper hand. I think especially after they dealt with the run it back and found mid-lurk. Clearly, Nongshim recovered.
100 Thieves feeling the pressure once again. Both teams have been quite sparing with their pauses. I feel like MBS's words have been heard throughout this series so far. Of course, for 100 Thieves, there was a lot of pressure on this org, as I said, but you go back and they've had moments at international events, but making a grand final, it's not been seen. With the investment into these rosters, with young blood being brought up from the tier 2, there's always high expectations when you put on that 100 Thieves jersey. Whereas for Nongshim, this is more about showing that they weren't just a one and done, a fluke event that came off the back of a singular agent. Okay, that singular agent is popping off once again for Danby, but they want to show that 2026 is the year of Nongshim Red Force.
They're running in no pistols. That's a great paranoia. It gave Danby at least one pickup, but the trade's not good. That's a rifle recovered for 100 Thieves. The four-man stack towards this C-site paying dividends early on. And a deep push from Timotino gets him in the right place at the right time. X-Ross, a huge player to take down, and they're still giving him a chance. Timotino challenged once more with the spike as well. And now RB might have made his way to the A site. He emerged from the shadows, but he is very soon to be sent right back there. Big pickup from 100 Thieves. They gamble stack early, they send the op the other way, and everything goes in their favor.
I think also an important round for Timotino individually. He's been having a rough one so far. I think this was his second, third, and fourth kill, all in the same round. Giving him that operator, leaving him to lock down one side of the map. You can see that energy bringing him to life. An important round directly after the pause. 3 of the last 4, and look at what it's done to the economy of this attack inside. But even still, an early Hunter's Fury may be signaling that this would be an aggressive push, and although they've taken ground, it's more to force them maybe into a panicky B hit, but well, it doesn't look panicky.
Taking themselves the opening and put so much pressure on Navora. He's tied almost exclusively to the hot hands. Nongshim now with weapons recovered. And a blip on the radar moments ago has gone silent. Asuna and Bang.
Đây, em có Hương vào bình luận
Both coming from the window, no idea that Ivy
Nhất là
was so slow through the door,
Đây
but
à.
caught him.
Bình luận
That should
viên.
have been what secured the round, but now it has
Tao nhớ mình sang tê luôn đéo nào.
forward. It's given them a chance, a small
Bữa
chance, but one nonetheless.
cần đi biết tên chiêu đó.
Reveal a little too
Chúng
deep
gọi
at
người
time.
đọc
Surely already gone backstab here from Bang.
đọc một cái cơ bản.
With Francis down now.
Nhìn chung ấy. Nói chung là em còn học cả tên kỹ năng.
Kỹ vậy.
Cắt lậu mà. Cứ chứ nó cắt không, không muốn nói cắt lậu. Gọi là có một luồng cát EWC của một LPL chung một cát.
In the first map, but still definitely
Bọn em
wasn't
đi đâu mẹ rồi.
up to the standard we expect. But this round is exactly why we get
Mình
excited
sẽ
when he picks up this agent.
trả lời
As you said,
các câu hỏi
almost
mà
got a
thằng
kill
đó sẵn các bạn ơi.
exclusively with the hot hands, but also
Các bạn nào hỏi
that he
tươi nhá.
found versus that operator.
Thì bắn Zalo không anh em mà không em ơi.
Không em ơi.
Hôm nay mình xem long xỉn.
Mệt rồi.
Tớ mê.
In the last with all those upgraded weapons, so that gives them a repurchase. But that has to be a knock to the confidence.
Bắn với anh em này chúc mẹ mất mai mất. Chúc mẹ em này. Là chúc mẹ.
Không phải lo.
Mai mày đánh gì?
Mai chưa gắn.
Tao là chích.
Mai nó đánh.
Big safety net with a big hole in it now. Nongshim, one man to the good, and 100 Thieves in terms of
Này
information.
gọi là thử lòng em long một chút.
With this push up on the A side.
Thử lòng cãi vẽ nhau hợp lý rồi đấy.
Đấy gọi là với nhau. Đây gọi là
lên nhau.
Cho cả team đi lên.
Tranh luận sẵn luôn vãi cứt.
Clearly expect a late hit on the C side, and there is still a chance. There's no reason to believe that Danby couldn't be playing a fake towards this B site. We've seen Nongshim do this many times. The quick.
Mẹ của Danby sống tự tin nhỉ? Mai này pick up như nào? Mai top pick up như nào?
Được, cái này mai á. Mai tùy chứ mai.
Pick up gì ấy?
Pick up gì chả được.
Gì cũng được.
Có tay bắn này.
Mẹ này. À Lotus đâu? Lotus tao không chịu ấy.
Lotus.
No, you freeze that timer at 25 seconds.
Bắn Lotus đi em ạ.
Sat outside B and looked like getting ready to
Nếu mà đưa bắn thì
Thôi mai ban xong mid với ở sunset gì? Sunset khó.
Not that they didn't start in an unlucky fashion, but that kill is what changes it. Now the spike's going B. The trap on the C site is left untriggered.
Hay rồi, X-Drop với cả Davi
Nongshim
cứ
were
bắn như này
waiting
thì
30
khả năng
seconds
sẽ là
for an
2-1
opportunity. They were waiting for a way out. And they found it. Danby found it, and he has been the one to locate every crack in this defense. 100 Thieves facing off
Danby kề rất kỹ, nó biết rồi.
Danby knows. I mean, he's not blind. He sees that Danby hasn't gone all the way, but he's hesitant to clear that corner for good reason. 100 Thieves right at that choke point, ready to flash around on Asuna. The
Danby bắn tầm với cộng. Đúng à? Mai bắn tầm với cộng. Ui, mẹ biết nó. Để cũng dẻo.
Không có cơ hội rồi.
Mai bắn Heaven đâu.
Mai bắn Heaven tí. Heaven bắn dễ chứ.
Rồi Heaven Ascent Split nha.
Heaven Ascent không, Split khó.
Split cho mình bắn Cypher, bọn mình bắn Split cho...
Người tao không biết lướt ấy.
Để Giá Hưng.
Giá Hưng đi mệt thuần lướt ấy.
Split tao bắn cùng nắm bắn cùng tay thôi.
X-Ross taking the duel.
Đối như nào đã, đối mềm
Flash from Asuna, trap triggered, and yeah, from X-Ross's perspective.
Đối mềm thì bắn mắc đéo phải được.
Cái đối đầu tiên, mình mà là tầm đánh bạc.
Đánh bạc á?
Thôi.
Pham clip
nếu
Pham.
Mai đoán là có tầm chục clip shot.
Chưa có bả. Giả sử nếu mà mình gặp bọn anh phạt, có bắt được tụi bắn Phoenix, bố bắn flop luôn, bố để.
Ui, tele.
Bắn chắc chắn là điều mà. Nói chung là cứ bắn hai ven Ascent được. Ta chỉ tự tin con điêu hai móc này.
Yeah, originally I thought that had to be someone over on the attack side, but
No, RB was getting out of the corner after being hit by a
Cái
paranoia.
map
That's
Haven
what
này
it looked like.
chúng ta hưng bắn Sentinel điếm lắm.
I
Điếm
don't know if
chó.
Bang was trying to act as a distraction for
Map này mid nó hai đường kia chẳng dễ. Nè.
As you
Cứ
said,
dễ
though, they come out
không
with
biết
an
được ông
advantage.
ơi. Người ta
Drone is going
biết
to
đâu
clear
chúng nó smurf, chúng nó
outside
buôn
of
hết.
A. B
Ôi
side
bắt
looks
Mai mà
like
gặp
the
gặp
target.
mấy thằng Accent từ đây thì khó.
Bất
Đây ai may ra.
một đợt
Should be
tao
guaranteed.
bắn gặp
Cryo has been
hai mo
flashed
thắng mà.
off the angle. He's got to be careful
Bắn
resuming
bên
it.
đấy đây,
Extros is
bắn
waiting,
giải ở
but he
với
wins
mấy
the
cái
fight
gì mà tao
anyway.
bắn gặp hai mo thắng mà.
Makes this further and
Hai
further
mo cộng và
Tao chưa bắn giải sẽ như nào. Tao vẫn sống xanh nhỉ.
Mai nhá, Mai đập tay lia liệng nhá.
Cái gì? Mai gọi là đập tay lia liệng nhá. À đập tay lia liệng. Ôi, tao clap xong em ngồi tỏ ra lạnh lùng à.
Lạnh lùng.
Ai biết hơn mà trời ơi, phải bắn thế.
And it was this from Bang, a nice double on the crunch. Let's not talk about the paranoia team.
Bang này trước Sentinel.
It's fun when it lands, it's flashy, but the rest of the squad was here to recover on that.
Bình luận ấy, bình luận à? Bình luận bọn Long Si này bỏ bắn lia liệng.
Hôm nay anh Trung rapper mà anh rapper map 2 chán quá.
Mẹ, bình luận mấy thằng Pacific bắn mỏi mồm.
Xả ra đây có vẻ là một tình huống thẳng vào B hay sao? Đây rồi.
Nhìn thẳng vào B rồi.
Rất là đẹp. Đã bị quét trúng.
They fail on the B side plant, they go right back to the B side
trườn về nhà
plant.
nó thấy một cánh tay rồi. Ôi nhưng mà
Nhưng chớ từ Dambi.
đã phải lùi tường để đi về 19 máu.
Ui, cái tô rất cao.
Bắn em hưng.
Phải lục.
Ở đấy, chiêu cuối đã là trả ra. Ui nhưng mà bắn chớ.
Ui.
100 t hôm nay như thế nào đây? Bắn chớ nhở.
Ui.
Cho Abi làm trò.
Nó là liên tục. Mệt à. Số là 84 nên cho nó xỉu.
Không từ từ nha. Không từ từ, chắc chắn là 84. Không từ số.
With a solid first half here on Haven.
Nhìn thấy hình ảnh đấu đó của em Trung trong con tướng Dabi này.
To take them through that final round in a commanding lead. Will put them into a good position. 8-4 for
để bật highlight map Axel bắn Z nha. Được.
Thôi.
Giải nha. Đấy.
Đéo ai hỏi.
Thì người tao đầy highlight.
Giải này quá bị lựa đâu.
Có kiểu chiếu lên màn hình không? Màn hình.
Trông mày trông
là vào trong.
Thấy chắc phải gần.
Hôm nay thêm 4 người chắc phải tầm
Đến 20 team không?
Không đến 12 14 rồi.
Is this the reason why you're rooting for 100 teams? Bang, maybe?
I mean, NA is the best region, so we gotta.
Giải ít tiền này chắc mấy thằng kiểu team mà top team để nó đi bắn đi quét giải sợ không có nhỉ?
Không có được.
Giải cao nhất
có triệu mấy. Dưới thì không có đâu.
Dưới DA thì không có đâu. Thuần là mấy thằng bắn vui vui nhanh mình.
Thế chắc cũng kiểu như anh em mình thôi đúng không?
Finalement, donc c'est vrai qu'on n'a pas beaucoup de fans dans notamment en France. Qu'est-ce qui t'a fait?
Trước bọn tao bắn giải em bắn em ra Viking League mà đi về ăn được mỗi cả.
Mày thấy cái ava của tao không? Đấy. Giải đấy.
Je les ai rencontrés.
Giải đấy gặp được cả bên Rapido Fire.
KOL nữa. Để mẹ lag thế.
Em Long mình làm văn nghệ đấy.
Văn nghệ gì? Tao làm không?
Karaoke à? Hát karaoke phải tắt nhạc đi hát chay.
À, phải luôn.
Mày có job gì không?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And that's a win for Nongshim. Let's see if Colin is right. Back to the game.
Có 2 job reset.
Nobody tell MBS.
Làm bên dốc cho
He's
nó kiểu
stressed
có
enough as
content
it
ấy.
is. He's stressed enough.
I think I might have seen a turnaround during that.
Lúc mà mình nổi tiếng của mình là một cái Discord riêng của nó.
Listen, I don't know how his eyesight's holding up these days. We'll have to hope. We'll have to hope that that's going to be the saving grace for 100 Thieves right now.
Nó nói gì ấy hả? Hưng.
Grand final spot up for grabs, but they are
Mày
trailing
biết tiếng
by
Hàn
4
mà.
at the
Thấy nó nói gì ấy?
halftime for Nongshim. Ever
Ở đâu nghe?
since they found their footing
Nó
on
nói là
map
let's
number
go
2,
thôi.
it does look
Let's go
like
có tin rồi.
we've gotten the Santiago victors back. This squad, someone that has already defeated some of their demons from the past, double down on defeats they've dished out, but
Tao không biết.
they don't want to be outlasted.
Thì tao định sau đấy tao kèm quét hết gái lên.
Pistol round is aimed
Bữa.
past. Timotino looking to lead the charge and he's done. Good reveal for
Gọi là đục rồi, sang
this pistol round
sáng đục.
flawless already from 100 Thieves. It leaves Ivy and
Chắc là
RB
bao giờ mình có visa chắc là
with an
tầm
absolute mountain
tầm
to
tháng 9
climb.
đúng
You
không?
can see how far ahead they are in this
Tháng sau.
round with them looking to try and manage those orbs. They've got to
Tuần sau lên đại sứ quán bên xin ra.
with ease. And now Ivy,
Okay.
a 1v5 will be the moment of the tournament. Instead,
Có visa mới
see
đặt
us
vé máy bay
sooner.
à? Hay là phải đặt vé máy
You
bay
got an
trước?
orb by the way.
Có cái rằng là
Thì mới
Nobody
đặt
else
chứ.
is going to be handing themselves to Ivy quite like
Không
that.
biết mà được.
cũng không cần đấy, tại vì lúc tao đi thì cũng chả phải ngày lễ gì,
Spotted up
không
top,
cần thiết lắm.
they'll fill in the space, and Cryo's ready and waiting for Ivy to step on down those stairs. It is a fifth found for 100
Pistol
Thieves,
đầu
and
tiên
his pistol,
dành cho con thiếp à.
it was necessary to close the gap. I like that they started it with confidence. The pack mentality and the full push towards the A site, the reveal behind, absolutely perfect. As Timotino, rather, was dragging the gaze of everyone on site.
Nongshim là một trong những cái đội sử dụng những cái round eco
Be a factor for 100 Thieves, the pacier
Ai,
rounds up
Pacific.
against Nongshim, because we know this defensive side, they love to
chém à?
push,
Hay là mày
and
có
there is
căn cứ
definitely
gì ạ?
em
merit
đi
in the Laws
lúc
on
trước
Sunset,
tao
just sitting back
để
and
mà
waiting.
có thể phân tích mà.
Tập à?
Tôi thấy là cặp đôi duelist của trong thiếp rất là chắc,
Attack side as they mount this road to recovery.
Nó trả ra...
bắn như Quốc Hưng và Trương Đình Trung vậy.
See that double duelist that the desk highlighted.
Đây rồi.
On the defensive
Trả ra...
side, it's forgivable.
Francis bị
They
mù.
were struggling
Bắt vào mù Francis.
with the sheer pace and aggression of their opponents. And
Bồ.
although there was a round or two from Timotino, he was ultimately shut out. Now he's the tip of the spear.
Mình cho bên phía của
Arsenal there alongside him. He might have a fair few assists, but
từ phía RB và hai quả flash.
wasn't able to get too much
vẫn
in
còn
the kills
vẫn có thể
department. This is
bị
the
take
half
được.
where expectations now
Tôi
fall onto
nghĩ
their shoulders.
họ sẽ
Tôi nghĩ là chết bom.
Especially, yeah, I was about to say we're going to
họ
see
sẽ
some
chết bom.
weaponry juggled
Để
over.
có
Tôi nghĩ
thể
họ sẽ chết bom.
lượt
Just run in.
không để cho họ kiếm như
Cái này là có vẻ là không muốn retake rồi.
He just needs the orb.
À bên one thiếp
Thuần cầm súng mình đổi.
Phoenix
Thì
có thể
là bắt mặt ui bắt được ngay vị trí của RB.
He doesn't mind
Nhưng mà
what
ít lúc
happens
cũng
to
bắt
him
được
from here on
Bất
out.
được cái gì.
Liệu có định xếp của Bulldog này không?
There's a bulldog now for X-Ross in time.
một đó làm tí đấy là stinger
Fully
thôi.
gone yet, but it should be.
Không,
Đó mà.
gỡ rồi, gỡ rồi. Gỡ rồi, gỡ được.
Gambi's actually getting
Gỡ
really
được. Gỡ thành công. Gỡ thành công. Gỡ thành công.
Là điều
Uầy, một pha cờ đắt không tưởng. Cái gì chỉ đang bị ui. Tôi bảo mà. Lợi dụng sơ hở. Một trong cái quá bẩn tưởi, quá chủ quan.
That might be it. That genuinely might be the
Mai
round
mình
that
gặp
Bulldog đi.
đấy Quốc
this
Hưng ạ.
tournament for
Kiếm
100
cái
Thieves.
gì?
You've just lost in basically
Mai mà
with
bắn như này
seconds
thì
to
chả đấy.
spare. You were busy managing
Mai
your
anh bắn
orbs.
như
You
này
were
à?
busy
Tình huống thuần
calculating
Patrick.
which player
Mai bắn
would
như
get
này
their
anh nhanh nhìn
ultimate.
nhau thôi biết sao tờ.
And you got overzealous. You got sloppy.
Yên,
You got
bình.
lazy. And that's
Ý
the
là
moment the Nongshim Red
ý là
Force
bọn nó
decide
nó
to
định kết bom
strike.
với
There never should have been a hope
Nhưng mà
in
bắt
hell
của Bulldog
that they
là-
win that round.
luôn.
And for 100 Thieves,
Được không Bulldog?
I don't think there's anything
Với lượng
worse.
súng yếu vừa mất đi khá là lớn, tài chính kinh tế của bên trong
They've broken into a
không có
jail
đủ
and
đầy.
locked
Thì
themselves
round
in it.
tiếp theo chắc chắn
Nongshim
sẽ
locked them in.
là
That's incredible.
chiến thắng tiếp theo của bên phía Nongshim.
Well, that's like they've broken into the bank and they forgot to
Paper
take
Rec
cash. Like it's insane. They walked out with nothing.
They took a risk. Not even a risk. They sent a man to his death to get an orb to give them a better chance at winning the
khi đó
next
trong một
round.
vũ trụ
And in the
thì
process, they lost a round that was genuinely unlosable. Fighting for a spot in the grand finals, and
Cô Hưng nhớ hôm nay ngủ đúng giờ nha. Mai dậy đúng giờ tao chỉ đường không chịu ấy.
Ai là đi chung à?
Mai dậy bây giờ
Phải đi với chung.
Ôi trời ơi, và đó là một sao thi đấu không biến số, tưởng chừng như là không biến số.
Tưởng chừng là không biến số lên từ 100 tip nhưng mà cái mẹ như vậy.
100 P ơi, 100 thằng ngu.
Ôi, giống
thực sự thì
La Rock nhỉ?
100 T thiếu những người đi lít nhưng là em chưa định chung là em Quốc Hưng nhá.
Đúng. Ai ăn đi một phát để làm ăn cái đéo rồi nữa. 100 thằng ngu đang bay trên đôi cánh của bang.
Khi họ gặp khó, họ nhìn vào phía giữa và họ thấy đó là một con chó mang tên bang.
Hàng thải của Sentinel có như thế này thì đội hình chính của Sentinel còn cỡ nào nữa
những người xem stream này sẽ rất vui khi biết tỷ số trận đấu thi đấu này sẽ là 13-5 tin tôi đi.
Nếu cái quả đấu hãy cắt đi ra và làm shot
trả giá cho round thi đấu eco vừa rồi thì các thành viên của bên 100T sẽ chỉ có lượng súng ít ỏi mà thôi. Họ phải trả giá cho sự ngu si của mình. 3v3 boxland mà không ai thèm kê bom.
Ngày mai mình mang cái đội hình này mang bắn Axel và Haven được luôn nhỉ?
Chiến thuật tao thấy là đội hình
cả đội đồ giống nhau.
Tao thấy đội team mình khá là giống team bọn Long Xin này, kiểu team com ấy.
Kiểu team com
Trình độ thì cũng xem thôi.
Sao như vậy rồi? Sao như vậy?
Nhưng mà tao buộc lúc chung không? Tao không muốn bắn Omen đâu. Tao không bắn Omen đâu.
We've seen them have heroic rounds. We've seen moments
cho một đấu tay,
especially with the pistol in hand. But yeah, you look at the buy that they're coming back
cho bố đánh tốt tay, bố đánh đừng mắt bố làm nhiều thứ.
Nhưng mày đừng bắn smoke nữa.
Courtesy of the thieves.
Silver linings, Tom.
Chọn không bắn smoke thì thằng nào bắn smoke.
Let's just look only at the positives.
Now
we can look at everything else. Everything else is a negative.
Cất mày cầm con clop, tao không thích clop smoke ít lắm.
Không.
Ôi Timotino đã bắt bạn đi vào Abi bạn nếu chỉ còn 22 tiếng ở đây, cạnh tranh đến từ vị trí của Asuna. Đây thì Timotino ở mid đang bị bắt, Francis bắt đi vào Asuna. Ba này bắt đầu đang bò dần vào khu vực gara, bắn đi phá đi cái trap rồi. Ở đây thì đám đi.
The spam in an attempt, the spike ticking in 100 Thieves' favor. But they need to hold.
This could be the reset that they needed, the best chance for it.
Trăm T ở đây thì Francis bò qua được. Ui, tưởng chừng như là không biến số mà lại có biến số Rami đã bắt được mạng của Asuna rồi. Còn tình huống trở thành đưa về 2 vs 3. Bora ở đây bắt được mạng của Rami, Xrot đổi mạng rất nhanh, 1 vs 2. Vàng thì vẫn đang trốn rất kỹ, nhưng chó núp chuồng vậy. Thôi, sẽ là 6-9 dành cho vị trí 100 T ở bom này thì có mà gỡ rồi.
Vào đầu uy tích cực bẩn thỉu.
Fantastic work. As said, like we're going to be critical in those moments, but to have the resilience to immediately break back. Asuna having a fantastic round. His ultimate actually not being that much of a factor. It was mostly him standing within the molly, fighting them tooth and nail. Timotino's love with the pistol as well. A saving grace to slow down the opponents. And then they just play that.
Tao vừa team view vào màn hình của Asuna ấy, nên thắng là đương nhiên.
Ôi, phá đẩy từ nó xin 4 người đẩy.
Trưng
lát nó trở ra. Ui, như nó chỉ mới là Phượng Hoàng tái tranh của Xrot mà thôi. Lửa trả ra. Ui. Lửa TikTok à?
Lửa đâu ấy? Lửa đây này đâu ấy?
File, thấy đầu sống rồi.
Chắn nó vẫn kê lại rồi.
dotting their I's, crossing their T's. 100 Thieves now. Boots on the ground for the A site. Post plant almost guaranteed. Damn, scares me. Oh, that's what I mean, bro. There's no way he should do that. There's no way you should even expect the player to do that. I see him walking forward in heaven. I see no one nearby, and I think, yeah, he probably does believe he can win this round.
I'm not gonna lie to you. 100% he was jumping out that window. The second he walked up there, I was like, he's gonna try and hit the timing as they go for the plant. Yeah, they're
không biết là chúng nó
he comes out with a multi-frag. This was not that world. They were very ready for him to try and make that play. Now it's a round where the additional weaponry for Nongshim isn't going to affect them buying into the next round. They have the credits to do so. The only thing he's really hoping for is an exit frag, and if not, to
bắn ít nhất phải 2 trận. Mày bắn như kiểu được tao trước ấy.
Not in this case.
Thậm chí là 3 trận nếu mà mỗi bảng 4 đội. Thì sẽ phải bắn 3 trận. Hôm trước là bọn tao bắn 2 trận đấy. Bắn 2 trận là bắn mẹ đến gần trưa.
Nhầm, 2 trận lại 1 à? 2 trận lại 1 đội.
Không, bên nó kiểu bắn
chứ nó bắn con tròn luôn mà.
Bắn lấy nhất bảng hay lấy cả hai?
Không biết
chỉ lấy nhất bảng.
Như giải đợt đấy tao là lấy nhất bảng.
Lúc mà mình chỉ cần thắng một trận nói chắc chắn vào tứ kết rồi thì
không cứt mình phải thắng sâu. Mình phải thắng sâu. Với cả chúng nó có OT đấy. Chúng nó có bắn thêm hiệp vụ ấy. Chúng nó có bắn thêm trận đấy đấy.
Hiệu số nữa.
Tiebreak ấy. Tiebreak đi chúng nó cũng sẽ hiệu số rồi.
Mà bây giờ trong trường hợp nào là một cái chuyện 3 đội ngang kèo nhau nhất?
Có, một đều có mà.
Trừ khi kiểu sự thua do đến muộn.
Bây giờ nha, giả sử lỡ mà anh em mình lỡ đi nha.
Lỡ thắng.
And even going back to the qualifiers, an 11-1 attack side versus GENG. That again wasn't a convincing victory. So they know that this half is going to be a little bit tougher. And with opportunities given,
mai 8 giờ nó chung nhá.
Ok. Mày đến là mày gọi nhá. Ở đâu ấy? Mình biết nhà tao nhỉ?
Nhưng mà tao biết nhưng mà lâu lắm rồi quên mẹ rồi.
Với ngõ ấy.
Ra chỗ đầu ngõ này.
Sao mày không ra chỗ sâu cây? Đón gì?
Rồi, bốn tự đi bộ ra. Ai thì spam chết được Tino rồi.
Vùng một phạt.
Mẹ thằng này là team build thằng Hưng à? Nó bắn ngà ấy.
Tốt rồi.
Ivy just has a BS monitor that's off the scale. Like
thế mà được chữa mình mắc
ai mà anh em hành được địch thì sẽ có một bài là X-Drop và Dami của LUvezNG League. Nếu mà mang thua thì sẽ có Asuna và Timotino của LUvezNG League. Ô, thăm mình cùi đang Dami ơi.
Francis gets the trade onto a Dambi who threw himself to the wall. But RB is well aware of Cryo's position. A 2v4 now needed to stop double digits.
And that's the option to go back, pretty much taken out of your control. They could have already pushed C long, and now you've lost your lurker, so no garage control. You can't go C, you can't go B, not without a gamble. Instead, they'll play with the space they know they had at this point. Long is a danger, and that dropout from X-Ross is too, but 10 seconds left. They just need to play the time. But of course, for X-Ross, that means swinging in to take the fight.
He's been having an insane match.
Đã đéo gì mà bị mẹ cái đội tuyển đang bắn thì đéo thấy áo của Vũ đâu mà chỉ thấy áo của đội khác.
Thật. 100T nãy giờ chỉ thấy đó mẹ bang. Đấy phỏng vấn mẹ bang.
Tôi gửi lại link với Win 5 hay đi thành viên để tôi cấp vôn nhé. Đâu, gửi lại tên con của tao là tin tiên cho con này.
What the risk is, they can make it work.
Gửi tao tên
It's almost, it would be so frustrating. I'd love to say, see the silly mistakes he's made. He's 20-9. So, yeah, I guess you can just switch because you're winning all your fights. I can't argue with
hơn vào cho tao.
Okay.
Đi còn có giải á?
He's been deleted again. This is a big pickup.
Đi còn giải á?
When this happened, 100 Thieves were already a man down, and the trade came in quickly this time. They get to play with their advantage.
Phiền đấy.
Long vào chưa?
Rồi, tao vào nick chỉ có dê đấy. Thôi, lắm mai vào.
Mày điên à? Bây giờ tao phải ghi để cho roll giải. Nick mày làm gì? Đâu xem lại này. Cái bộ Z nick kéo hả?
Nick doanh nghiệp ấy.
Doanh nghiệp ạ.
Bắn trượt thì Cryo trả ra.
Ui.
Pha tele 200 IQ đấy thì
Those are plays that you normally don't see work, but RB's doing it on a semi-final stage.
He saw the TP and assumed that RB had ran away.
Long ơi, tao không thấy mày đâu Long ơi. Không thấy đâu ấy.
But Nongshim are playing a confident game. We've seen that from the get-go, revealed through, but Broken immediately flashed, gets them through the choke point. They're paying with bodies as they go. Asuna, the crossfire with Bang, strong as can be, and the spam from Bora backs them up. As X-Ross finds himself alone, it will be a round win for 100 Thieves.
Nick nào ra hưng là cái gì nhỉ?
10-8 now, still a healthy enough gap there for Nongshim. But signs of life going.
Mai đến sớm mang bích nữa.
Mai nhá, mai tao cho mày làm hết.
Ê mày tao
Bố chịu, mày làm đi.
Mời tao vào đâu mà.
Not dealing any damage, it gave so much information over to the attack. They were able to get comfortable in their post plants.
Nick của tao ấy, Nick MIT.
It definitely seems like a game of
Đây, quả lửa gì đây hả anh em? Quả lửa gì đây? Đấy mẹ. Trời nắng quá cháy mái nhà anh em.
Mời đấy Long ơi.
Ok. Quả lửa nãy là của ai nhở? Quả lửa nãy hình như của
with 100 Thieves stabilizing.
Rốt thì phải.
If they can take this round versus the Pistols, they'll be one away, but that's not what they're looking for. And also look at the ults that are available.
Đó này bắt đầu thắng ra không phải thắng.
Paper
wreck cosplay bro, paper wreck.
Strange to see Nongshim stop like that. They've sent Dambi back in the other direction. 100 Thieves no doubt expected to see continued aggression from the squad, but it was a free.
Thế là 9 người không 100 T mà thôi.
Fury almost trying to bait 100 Thieves into pushing this position so they can pounce with the players up close. But it's a very passive stance coming out of Cryo.
Mà cây chéo này
khó lắm.
The drone going through. Oh, that's a bit of a brave swing. And now the pressure for Cryo as he's at least able to deliver one, shutting down X-Ross, deleting the ultimate that was in play.
Đấy, thằng Ivy biết tìm kỹ chưa?
Làm bi mà anh em.
Ivy mà.
biết.
As said, although it's not a round expensive in weaponry, it is expensive in ultimates. Nongshim throw a lot into this round. The run it back, the overdrive, the Hunter's Fury. All expended in this round in an attempt to turn the tide, and it's Timotino and Asuna that are able to hold that line. That's a really important round from 100 Thieves because it eliminates almost every valuable ultimate that Nongshim has.
We said we needed Asuna to step up bottom of the board now, but 100 Thieves not struggling even with X-Ross on the other side, showing up again in the same way as we've seen him many a time before.
Ông nào bị bắt vì cái gì
bị bắt đâu như bị liên quan đến dính án lùm xùm gì mà ui cái gì đây bị rồi
bị bắt rồi hôm nay được thông báo bị bắt rồi
nó xoay bắt gì cái gì
không nhớ lắm
kiểu hợp tác với bên làm sách cái ông tác giả của cái sách
They still have to deal with Ivy and Dambi, the two shining lights of this squad.
Có thể thắng round này hay không đây, nhưng khi mà Dambi lướt shot vào bắt được mồm Asuna, Rio đã đổi mạng lại còn một mình Ivy mà thôi. Tình huống 1v1 giữa hai Cypher nào sẽ là Cypher Deep ở đây.
Ôi bỏ về shot thì thằng Cryo thắng rồi. Ivy nếu có thông tin thì thua. Đấy, giờ ngồi check mất mẹ một tỷ thời gian. Cái kết thôi.
Ticking faster and faster by the second. but he'll get it to half at least. The fight though.
Đấy, hình như tao lại thấy pha này quen lắm này. Nhưng mà rất tiếc, thằng Ivy thằng ngu, mày nhớ y hệt pha ở Sunset ạ.
Incredibly well played by Cryo. The full reposition at the last second, it left a million angles that Ivy had to face off against. Even knows the timing of his cam coming back online, so he could pop that right in his opponent's face. Have all the information.
Chưa hiểu pha này thằng Ivy nó cứ trốn kỹ cái gì.
And then leaving it to the last second just to make sure if he lets go, I win. If he doesn't let go, I win.
Bố xong thua.
Mai cũng thế thôi.
Càng ngồi rú rồi.
Mai mình cũng thế đi. Mai phải cố căng thẳng một chút. Mai nhắc thắng là trận nào. Đấy là trận đấy.
Back in this map, we thought the round number 2 of this half was going to be the backbreaker, the one that crushed.
Ôi đùa.
What is?
Nhập đối mình bắn đi trường win.
A young,
Đợt
inexperienced guy.
Đợt trước bắn giải Attercross, thằng Long không đi bắn. Đợt bắn giải bọn tao gặp một team đến muộn. Sau team đánh bạc. Sau rồi thằng Thành với thằng Hiếu Minh cứ bắn nhanh mẹ lên kiểu đéo giật thua. Bọn ngu như vậy.
What should be, yeah.
Very much so. But they looked at it as a bump in the road. They
khả năng
reset,
cao
they
như
found themselves neck and neck now.
Như này là cực nhiều check.
Ui, hóa ra là biết dành cho Francis à?
Ui, số nhờ kiểu.
There it is. Francis taken out. That's the rifle on the ground for Nongshim. Only pistols remain and a mass exodus of the C and B site as they look to reinforce A. Enemies at the gates. That's the last thing they heard.
30 seconds left.
The 100 Thieves have gone elsewhere, looking to steal some map control away, and, well, Ivy's still back in the space. It's dangerous if he finds the first. X-Ross here by his side as well, filling back through to put the pressure on the planter, but the TP out resets us comfortably.
Ủa, nhảy cái gì đấy Ami ơi?
Về vào đi cột chưa? Thằng Long bằng chưa đấy.
These players are demons with the sheriff, but something 100 Thieves have done well is just not giving them opportunity to free fights unless there's a teammate alongside it. And they now know that X-Ross is not on this spike. He needs instant shots. The first one goes pretty well. Second one as well! Oh my lord! He almost corrected just in time. You can never count him out, but 100 Thieves, the trade was quick enough.
Chế độ streamer đã được bật này.
It came down to the wire, considering the weaponry brought in for Nongshim. It does make me, you know, it's early stages, I'm thinking, wow, well, that's a great contest from it. It's a close round, but it's been a lot of close rounds. But 100 Thieves are edging that victory out every single time so far.
Thực sự bẩn thỉu lắm, tao đã hết hy vọng từ game 2 xem trông bẩn mắt.
Well, again, you take out that ninja that they had, that sneaky defuse, and it's been a disaster of a half.
They've definitely been struggling over on this defense. A second pause being called. I think 100 Thieves have done an excellent job of soaking up the pressure. And then when they can get back into those post plants, they've been almost unstoppable. It literally is just a blip in the second round where they thought it was done. Every other post plant they had was all very good. They've been incredible at buying themselves time, and LUezNG then becomes an additional member of their team. I think shutting down Danby early as well, it makes it so difficult to break the sight lines on the entry back into the site. He's definitely got a player to X-Ross has been nothing but quiet. Even still though, a second pause called. Last-ditch effort to talk from the coaches, and 100 Thieves 2 rounds away from a grand
lửa, nãy còn lửa lỗi cơ Trung ạ, buồn cười lắm.
Thôi bom xong rồi là thua mẹ đâu nữa. Biết kiểu gì, móc không có.
Rồi lùi
hết ra ngoài sang luôn. Sao reset luôn.
Nongshim putting their credits into this one. Ult's nearly online, but not quite close enough, at least for now. Picks needed, one for X-Ross, and this round becomes incredibly difficult if it's not traded quickly. Ivy spotted already, trying to make the play out of the garage, but he's not alone. Danby comes to meet him. Now it's going to be a blitz.
Ui rồi, Cryo ở đây thì bị Ivy bắt đi rồi. Ôi, Asuna vào đây, Francis bắt được Asuna, Mura bắt được.
Ôi, quá là khó chịu từ vị trí của Mura đi không. Rồi, 12 người.
moments of a grand final.
Thủ Sabi nó quá nhanh.
Got the code dialed in, punched in, and all that remains is to turn that final key.
Có team rơi chủ thua chưa nhỉ?
Còn cái này là gì, còn anh thắng anh thua trận này xuống bắn đại ba.
Thế á?
They made it here last year, entered the group of death and left in the group stage. Now they sit one round away from maybe their biggest
hình như quả không tao nghĩ quả lửa đấy nó là kiểu lửa đam kiểu nó không hiển thị nhưng mà vẫn gây sát thương ấy, hiểu không?
And a chance to be immortalized, but Nongshim are not a team to go quietly. They're not a team to shy away. They have pushed up with 4 players outside this A site, and they're looking to fight.
It's been spotted, the drone had already seen 2 players up close, but they find out there's much more than they bargained for. Hunter's Fury kept reinforcements back, and Dambi found one. The plan tries to come in on C, but the run it back cancels just before the clock. Not quite as favorable as it could be, but a reposition of the plan. They'll now look to fight deep. Be more than ready.
Muốn thắng, không muốn thắng lên từ vị trí của 100 tê.
The man who had to step up to the plate, we said, had to be the difference maker. Immortalize that position.
Tí nhờ tao nhớ là rõ ràng là đang thấy đang nằm bom trong C không tự dưng.
Đây, Ubi đây, Ubi đặt bom vào. Quả đấy may cho Asuna là không
and it's a team who's already hoisted a trophy this year on an international stage, who's fighting for survival.
What an insane round again from
Ivy. Đi bắn quả này kinh thôi. Nhưng mà chắc là mình
can genuinely have a highlight reel from every single series he's played this tournament. It came down to the last map versus Vitality, and he became an immortal enemy. Someone they will look to get revenge on for years
pha này tao thì chắc là thua, chắc là đóng hòm ra này rồi. Roll ra phát là mù quá.
Ôi
gì đây Dami ơi.
Sờ tăng của Quốc Hưng à?
Lửa lại cái gì nữa?
Hết rồi. Hết rồi. Từ cái gì đấy? Đây là hết.
Bên 2 Francis
The one man standing, the first kills easy. Tournament survival. Bang.
Phát hiện ra đối phương
The
chưa là bom.
prodigal son of 100 thieves return.
Sợ Slack thế. Ui Slack đúng đoạn quan trọng này. Liệu có clutch được không đây?
Đoán đi, mình làm dự đoán đi.
To try and take them to a grand final. Nongshim and maybe us of an overtime. Is waiting to see if his opponent
It's expecting the aggression. Of course, it's what Nongshim would do, but Bang playing this patiently. The smoke is faded now. The advantage in that fight gone, but the timing couldn't be better.
Thôi, đội tuyển cuối cùng lát phút Pacific đã dừng chân lại. Một trong tên cướp sẽ là người đi tiếp. Và thôi, đủ cả sức của chúng ta hôm nay đến đây là dừng là đẹp rồi anh em ơi. Cũng xin thế là tuyệt vời rồi. Cảm ơn anh em đã xem stream nha anh em nhé.
It's been a long time coming for this organization.
Bye anh em.
They have been in since the beginning. They've been invested. They've been purchasing the young talent. They've been